Chapter 282. Chapter 282. Resolve the conflict. When Lu Wenjing got her feet on the ground, she was ready to beat up Qin Feng. But once she heard Qin Feng call her fat, she placed her hands on her hips and glared at Qin Feng in a huff. Qin Feng, search your conscience and say that again. I'm fat? I'm as thin as a flash of lightning. Do you have eyes? When Qin Feng saw how cute Lu Wenjing was when she was angry, he patted her head, smiled, and said, "Since you know you're as thin as a flash of lightning, then why don't you eat more to replenish your strength? You're growing and maturing right now, so don't mistreat your body to maintain your figure or whatnot. It would be bad if you got a stomach illness like enteritis or something." Qin Feng pointed at the sofa and coffee table to the side. "Go sit for a bit first. We haven't had supper yet, so I had someone bring something over. We'll eat while chatting." Lu Wenjing was stunned. She looked stupidly at Qin Feng and forgot her anger at him. Both of her parents passed away when she was young. In the beginning, she lived in an orphanage with her little sister. Then, when she was 14, they left the orphanage and lived on their own. The bitterness and hardships she faced during that time were still fresh in her mind. Since she was young, she lacked parental love, and she almost forgot how it felt to be cared for. Now that Qin Feng suddenly touched her head with such gentleness and said such caring words, Lu Wenjing's eyes became moist. "I am not eating. I have to go back. My little sister is still waiting for me at home." Lu Wenjing quickly came to, and the moved and warm expression on her face instantly disappeared. She looked at Qin Feng with a guarded expression again. How could she not know that this pervert Qin Feng was probably treating her well and using flowery but insincere speech to cheat her of her body? "You have a little sister as well? How old is she? Is she as beautiful as you? If so, then I must see her when I get the chance," said Qin Feng with a smile. Lu Wenjing suddenly rushed up and kicked Qin Feng. She seemed as though she would go completely mad. "Qin Feng, I'm warning you. You can do whatever you want to me, but if you dare have any crooked thoughts about my little sister, I'll stop at nothing to kill you." Qin Feng rubbed his shin. This girl was wearing 15 centimeters high heels, so it did hurt a bit when she kicked him. "I say, violent woman, I was just teasing you. I've never even seen your younger sister, so how could I have any inappropriate thoughts about her?" Qin Feng stared at Lu Wenjing. Lu Wenjing regained her senses and thought that she was too rash earlier. However, she wasn't going to apologize to Qin Feng because she felt that Qin Feng owed her more. "I have to head back. Don't look for me again. I feel annoyed just looking at you." Lu Wenjing tried to leave again. It wasn't easy for Qin Feng to get this girl to the phone group space. If he didn't explain the situation to Lu Wenjing tonight, how could he possibly let her go? He grabbed her and tugged her onto the sofa. "Jing, leave after eating. I still have something to tell you." Qin Feng suddenly became serious. "I won't eat, but if you have something to say, say it." Lu Wenjing looked at Qin Feng with a guarded expression. She was afraid Qin Feng would drug her food. She didn't dare eat food he gave her. "Do you know what room you're sitting in right now?" Qin Feng laughed. "What room?" "This is the Fei Tian bar space, in the phone group space. Jing, you're in the phone group space right now. Only the top brass of the phone group can come here." Lu Wenjing's expression changed drastically. She jumped in shock. She didn't know why Qin Feng brought her to the phone group space, but she wouldn't believe Qin Feng's bullshit about giving her the phone group. She had a bad premonition. This beast wasn't going to force himself on her in this room, was he? When she thought about how Qin Feng hid a whip on his body, she was even more certain of her guess. Didn't they have whip service in movies? "You big pervert, why you better not do anything reckless. Otherwise, I'll kill myself in front of you." Lu Wenjing suddenly grabbed the fruit knife from the work desk and pressed it to her neck. Looking at Lu Wenjing with astonishment, Qin Feng was so shocked that he almost spilled the tea in the cup in his hand. Jing, what are you doing? Quickly, put down the knife. Don't hurt yourself." Qin Feng walked over with some worry. Lu Wenjing became even more nervous. She stuck the blade of the knife close to her clear, jade-like, and beautiful neck, producing a red imprint. "Qin Feng, don't force me. I'll really kill myself." Qin Feng paused in his steps and looked helplessly at Lu Wenjing. Jing, why would you kill yourself? If you do a striptease or show me some moves in bed, I'll definitely really like it. Oomph. You stupid pervert. I knew you didn't have any good intentions in bringing me here. Move, I want to leave. Lu Wenjing glared coldly at Qin Feng. The knife in her hand stayed close to her neck, and she carefully walked toward the door. She hadn't gotten there yet when it was suddenly pushed open. Longhair and his two brothers each walked in with two fine dishes. Young Master Qin, the food and wine you wanted are here. Longhair smiled and greeted Qin Feng. He had just finished speaking when he saw Lu Wenjing with the blade pressed to her neck. He was so frightened that he almost dropped the plates in his hands. Be big sister-in-law. What are you doing? Longhair quickly came to. His vision wasn't bad. Once he saw Lu Wenjing's outstandingly beautiful features, he knew she must be a woman that young Master Qin brought. Longhair was jealous to death of Qin Feng. He had seen a good number of Qin Feng's women. In jail, he saw Han Ying. Outside the Zhao family villa, he saw Zhao Lingxian. And not long ago, he saw teacher Yuan Xiao at the bar. Today, he saw Lu Wenjing. They were each more beautiful than the last, and each had her own unique style. Big sister-in-law? Who are you calling big sister-in-law? Lu Wenjing glared at Longhair, but she was quickly stunned. Because she had heard of Longhair and his brothers. From the outside, these three were the bosses of the phone group. Lu Wenjing actually yelled at the boss of a gang. She currently trembled. She was afraid the three of them would suddenly rush over to beat her up. Longhair, put the dishes down, said Qin Feng. Jing, put away the knife. Let's sit, talk, and eat. After seeing Longhair and his brothers, Lu Wenjing was in a bit of a daze. She didn't even notice when Qin Feng walked over to her and grabbed the knife out of her hand. Qin Feng hugged Lu Wenjing and sat her on the sofa. He helped set up her utensils and napkin, then smiled and said, Jing, these three are the phone group's figurehead bosses, and they're my subordinates. The first time we met was at Fei Tian Bar. At the time, you pulled me into joining your one group and made it known that you wanted to fight the phone group. But back then, I was the phone group's boss behind the scenes. Say, isn't it destiny between us? Isn't what happened in between funny? Qin Feng slowly sliced a steak and placed it on Lu Wenjing's plate. He only recounted memories the two of them shared. Later, you gathered the one group members at the Rue Jia Hotel. After going, I realized that these people weren't looking to fight together with you. They were all after your beauty. They originally wanted to force themselves on you. Then I brainwashed them in the restroom and brought them to meet the Wild Wolf Gang members. While the one group fought the Wild Wolf Gang, the phone group occupied all of the Wild Wolf Gang's territory in the Northern District. After the two of us fought and defeated over 100 Wild Wolf Gang members, I joked about using you. Who would have thought that you'd treat it as fact? Then I didn't even get the chance to explain. The police came, you ran away, and I remained to deal with the aftermath. Lastly, you hid. I used the phone group's power, yet I couldn't find you. Chapter 284. Chapter 284, Beautiful Mutually Dependent Sisters. In a Stage 1 Cloud City Hua Manor Villa. Lu Xiaojia wore pink Chibi Maruko-chan cartoon pajamas and pouted cutely as she lay sprawled on her bed. She raised her two long, soft, and slender legs, lifting the bottom of her skirt and revealing a hint of her SpongeBob underwear. Lu Xiaojia scrolled through her phone while wrinkling her delicate little face in an unhappy expression. The pictures on her phone were those of her and Qin Feng. She started at the first picture from the first night they met and slowly scrolled through the rest. Soon, she got to the picture they took in front of Fei Tian Bar with the other girls by Qin Feng's awesome Batmobile. Under the dusky yellow streetlights and the lights from the bar's neon sign, Qin Feng was even more handsome and radiant. He stood behind the girls with a cool and sinful smile. Lu Xiaojia stood in front of him with a blooming smile. Lu Xiaojia scrolled to the next picture and suddenly covered her eyes and yelped in surprise. Her face turned completely red. This was the picture of just her and Qin Feng. At the time, because Chen Mei Han and the other girls had to leave, Lu Xiaojia bid them farewell. Once she turned her head, she kissed Qin Feng's face. Lu Xiaojia liked this picture the most, but it was also the one she was most embarrassed about. Every time she saw it, she would blush and her heart would thump. It made Xiaojia extremely nervous. Oomph. Shameless, scoundrelly big brother phone. You cheated me of my first kiss and first hug, then told me not to look for you again. You're too frustrating. Lu Xiaojia shook her fist at the Qin Feng in the picture. She gritted her teeth and looked cute and naughty. Big brother Feng, where are you now? Do you think of me like I'm thinking of you? Lu Xiaojia suddenly felt sad. She hadn't seen Qin Feng for over a week, and they didn't even call or text. All lines of communication were severed. Though it hadn't been a long time, to a girl like Lu Xiaojia who got attached to people, it felt like a lifetime. Xiaojia, big sis's home. Lu Xiaojia had been immersed in memories of Qin Feng just when the door of her room was suddenly pushed open. Ah, sis, you're home. Lu Xiaojia was so shocked that she jumped up from the bed and immediately tucked the cell phone behind her. Xiaojia, what are you doing? Are you secretly playing with your phone again? Are you done with homework? Lu Wenjing had sharp eyes. She immediately saw her little sister hiding her cell phone. I am done, said Lu Xiaojia with a pout. If you're done with homework, then you can play a bit. Why are you nervous? Lu Wenjing looked at her little sister in confusion. Then, she suddenly said severely, Xiaojia, you aren't talking to someone, are you? Let big sis see your phone. Lu Xiaojia was so shocked that her entire body broke out in sweat. Her older sister had come in too abruptly, so Lu Xiaojia didn't have a chance to exit the photo album. If her older sister saw the picture of her kissing Qin Feng, she didn't even dare think about what would happen. Big sis, I wasn't talking to anyone. Sis, have you eaten yet? Xiaojia will cook what she's best at, egg noodles, for you. Wanting to run away, Lu Xiaojia immediately got off the bed. Lu Wenjing hugged her sister and tried to grab her phone. Sis, what are you doing? I have to go cook the noodles. Lu Xiaojia was really frightened and wanted to just throw and shatter her cell phone on the ground. However, she changed her mind when she thought of how she'd lose the pictures of Big Brother Feng if she broke her phone. Those might be the only mementos she'd have of him. Xiaojia, give me your phone. Lu Wenjing noticed that her little sister's actions were becoming more and more worrisome, and her tone turned icy. Wawa, sis, you're hurting my arm. Why are you so adamant on seeing my private matters? I'm grown up and I have my own secrets. Lu Xiaojia burst into tears. She was ready to trick her older sister and conceal her information. As expected, when Lu Wenjing saw her sister crying so sadly, her heart immediately softened. She carried her sister to the edge of the bed and patted her head comfortingly. Xiaojia, big sis won't look at your phone. You're still young, so sis was afraid you were getting tricked by a bad person. Sis, I know. Don't worry, I'm not dating. While her sister wasn't paying attention, she exited the photo album, locked the screen, and smiled. You've really learned how to act. Why don't you become an actress? Scolded Lu Wenjing with a laugh when she saw that her younger sister stopped crying. Sis, I learned from you. Your acting is better than Xiaojia's. Lu Wenjing's expression darkened. Was this really her little sister? She suddenly remembered how she had pretended to cry to trick Qin Feng at the office in Fei Tian Bar earlier and didn't lecture her younger sister. Xiaojia, big sis will take you shopping tomorrow. I'll buy you some new clothes and whatever toys or electronics you want. I'll buy them all for you. When Lu Wenjing thought about the 1 million yuan cash card she had, she happily hugged her sister. Sis, I don't want anything. I'll be happy as long as you are with me every day. Lu Xiaojia was extremely understanding. She knew her older sister had a hard time attending school and working concurrent jobs. She hugged Lu Wenjing tightly. Xiaojia, if big sis says she'll buy it, she will. Don't worry about me having a hard time or anything. Big sis will do anything if you're happy every day. Lu Wenjing hugged her little sister tightly as well. Since they were young, the two sisters relied on each other. Lu Wenjing's sole surviving family member was her younger sister, so she valued her sister's life more than her own. She wanted to give her little sister everything she could possibly give. Big sis, don't say anything else. Xiaojia doesn't want you to have such a hard time every day. I want to grow up faster so I can make money and share Big Sis's burdens. Lu Xiaojia was only a 14-year-old little girl, and she cried easily. Lu Wenjing's eyes reddened, and she held in her tears. The two sisters hugged each other tightly, and time seemed to stop. They were each other's everything. No matter what became of the world, no matter if there was thunder and lightning or gales and showers, as long as the two sisters hugged each other like this, they felt incomparable warmth and happiness. Wherever they were, wherever their house was, if one of them was gone, their home would also be completely gone. Qin Feng drove the Audi A6 back to Qin Manor. He had just returned when Rao Sherman called him to her villa. Sherman, I suddenly bumped into an old friend at Lotus Lake. Sorry for leaving without saying goodbye. Qin Feng walked into Rao Sherman's room. There originally was no one living in the villa, so it had no smell at all. Now that Rao Sherman had stayed here for just a night, the whole room was filled with her light fragrance. Qin Feng, I didn't give you permission to sit on my bed, did I? Rao Sherman sat on the sofa in the room and looked coldly at Qin Feng. Qin Feng went from the bed to the sofa and smiled at Rao Sherman as he said, "The sofa's good. It's more stimulating that way." Qin Feng, Rao Sherman scolded coldly, "Be serious. Let me ask you, this afternoon, when we were in the Prada store, that Chief Huang called you young Master Qin and was extremely servile and reverent. Weren't you going to explain this to me?" Qin Feng, don't pretend. I know you're actually young Master Qin, right? Rao Sherman's gaze suddenly became severe. Of course she didn't invite Qin Feng into her room alone at night to do anything with him. That afternoon at the Prada store, she heard Chief Huang call Qin Feng young Master Qin. She wanted to ask him about it, but she suppressed the urge to do so because the annoying Lin Shui was there. Afterward, when they were finally walking alone together at Lotus Lake and Rao Sherman wanted to ask him about it, he suddenly ran away. A nervous expression flashed in Qin Feng's eyes before subsiding. Then, he smiled at Rao Sherman. "Sherman, what are you talking about? I explained to you before that I'm young Master Qin's personal attendant. If I had such a great life, and really was Acropolis City's #1 young Master Qin, I would be willing to lose 10 years of my life." Qin Feng, you can't trick me. What you're saying about being young Master Qin's personal attendant is a pretense. I've been in Qin Manor for 2 days and a night, yet I haven't seen young Master Qin or heard anyone mention him. You must have made sure of that beforehand, because you are young Master Qin. That's why all the people at Qin Manor are playing along with you. You don't need to pretend. What's wrong with admitting your identity? I'm not going to harm you. Rao Sherman pinned her eyes to Qin Feng's. This was Qin Feng's first time seeing this girl so earnest and serious. I'm not. Qin Feng shook his head. And there's nothing I can do if you don't believe me? You really aren't? Rao Sherman suddenly laughed. Her lips quirked, revealing 2 mesmerizing dimples. Then you're really unlucky. I originally thought you were young Master Qin. It's a long night, so I wanted young Master Qin to drink and groan with happiness with me. Rao Sherman wore a purple muslin shawl. Beneath it, a white bra and white shorts could be seen. She held up the shawl and covered half of her lovely face with one hand, and beckoned at Qin Feng with the index finger of her other hand. The purple shawl slowly fell, revealing Rao Sherman's snow-white shoulders and sexy belly button. Under the lights, her smooth and soft skin was extremely alluring. Qin Feng couldn't help but reach out to touch her. Sherman, your skin is so soft. What products do you usually use on it? Qin Feng's large hand landed on Rao Sherman's shoulder, and he slid his index and middle finger downward across her skin. Disgust and ice flashed in Rao Sherman's eyes, then disappeared. She covered her mouth, laughed delicately, and said, Qin Feng, you're admitting you're young Master Qin? Sherman, some things are good enough if we just know it in our hearts. Why must we say it aloud? Qin Feng stared fixedly at her. He suddenly reached out with his other hand and pulled Rao Sherman tightly into his embrace. The beauty entered his embrace, and her fragrance filled the air. Qin Feng immediately pressed Rao Sherman's soft collar against him. From the contact, he could tell that Rao Sherman wasn't wearing anything else underneath. Qin Feng slid his hand down Rao Sherman's smooth jade back, and his other hand landed on the back of her calf. Her legs were of the highest quality. When he touched her thigh, his hand was about to melt. Rao Sherman propped her chin on Qin Feng's shoulder, and her hands hung rigidly at her sides. She had no reaction or sense of rejection when Qin Feng touched and hugged her. A strong chill manifested in her eyes. She looked as though she wanted to kill Qin Feng. Her clear and lovely eyes suddenly glanced toward the corner of the wall by the windowsill. A pinhole surveillance camera there was filming everything that occurred in the room. "Ah, young Master Qin. What are you trying to do? Didn't you say you came to my room to listen to me sing? How can you be like this? Let go of me, beast. You can't be this way. I am going to call the police." When Qin Feng was about to touch her neckline, Rao Sherman suddenly shoved Qin Feng away and escaped from his embrace. She lifted the blanket and covered her body as she looked at Qin Feng with alarm and a pitiful expression as if she had just suffered a scare. Chapter 285. Chapter 285. This woman is very suspicious. Sherman, what are you doing? Qin Feng, who was acting like a perverted pig had a second ago, became serious. Rao Sherman suddenly cried, "What am I doing? I want to ask, what are you doing?" "Young Master Qin, why you're trying to defile me, wah?" As an actor, faking tears was her first lesson. "I defiled you? Sherman, did you misunderstand me? How is there any possibility I'd defile you?" Unflustered at her charges, Qin Feng walked to her bed, sat on the bedside, and extended his hand and stroked Rao Sherman's head. "Moreover, I'm not young Master Qin. Why do you keep on saying I'm him? Are you trying to say I defiled you, or young Master Qin did? You can't simply blacken my name. Don't touch me, you filthy beast. I'm very certain you're young Master Qin. Now, be a man and admit what you've committed. I believed your false words and thought you really came to give some opinions on my singing. I didn't imagine that you actually had your eye on my body." Rao Sherman smacked Qin Feng's hand away and glowered at him. "Young Master Qin, you're too shameless, ugh." A hint of astonishment flashed in Rao Sherman's eyes. She felt something was wrong. "Sherman, I don't mean to defile you. I came to your room because I heard that you want to have some fun with me in this endless night. I understand Miss Sherman's intention is to discuss music, and I'm very proud to have this chance to join with the superstar Sherman in writing music. I sincerely cherish this opportunity. How could Miss Sherman sling mud at me, accusing me that I wanted to defile you? Also, you kept calling me young Master Qin when you said I defiled you. Do you have any idea how bad it makes me feel? It is a disgrace to me. How could you call me by the name of a third party while sitting with me?" Rao Sherman pursed her red lips tightly. Her hair and shirt was disheveled and messy. Her face was still flushed after Qin Feng touched her body, presenting a kind of beautifully messed up sight to one's eyes. She tried to see through Qin Feng's thoughts with her pair of sharp eyes. Suddenly, she realized that the plan for tonight was apparently a failure. Qin Feng wouldn't fall for it. "Nonsense. If you really wanted to discuss music with me, then why did you hug me suddenly, touch me, and kiss me? You even tried to take my shirt off? You're a big bad wolf, a filthy beast." Refusing to give up on her plan, Rao Sherman continued to frame Qin Feng. "And don't ever try to swindle me. I know you're young Master Qin. I've hugged you, but I never kissed you, and I didn't even think to undress you," replied Qin Feng with a solemn expression. "I hugged you because I realized Miss Sherman has too few clothes on and our Qin Manor is on a mountain in a remote area. I was afraid you might get cold on this windy night. When I tried to get you a quilt, you suspected me of getting fresh with you. Miss Sherman, do you know you're insulting my personality and morality? Do you know how angry I am now? I, Qin Feng, have been an indomitable man since I was born. I was a monitor when I studied in kindergarten, an honor student in primary school, a great young pioneer in junior high school, a champion in various kinds of Olympic competitions in senior high school, and even in university, I'm an elite officer of the student society. I'm neither afraid of hardship or fatigue, nor obsessed with money or women, and I treat everyone wholeheartedly. I don't ask for everyone to treat me the same way, but you all can't frame me like that." Sure, man. Do you know how much my heart hurts right now? I wish I could dig it out and show it to you. It must be shattered like glass fragments at this moment. Qin Feng suddenly grabbed Rao Sherman's jade hand, put it inside his clothes, and pressed it on his pecs. Then gouge your heart out right now. I would like to see how black your heart is for you to become such a shameless person. Rao Sherman glared at Qin Feng and forcibly pulled her hand out. A hint of disappointment crossed her eyes. She knew her plan for tonight had utterly failed. Not only didn't she succeed in framing Qin Feng and couldn't help big sister Qing Shui get strong evidence to cancel the engagement, Rao Sherman grudgingly realized facing Qin Feng was so full of variables and lies that she even questioned herself. Is this guy really young Master Qin? Hee, I don't mind gouging my heart out. I'm just afraid Sherman will fall in love and try to steal my heart away if you saw how pure and kind my heart is, replied Qin Feng shamelessly. Also, don't ever call the name of another man in front of me. Otherwise, I'll jump to death from this window. Rao Sherman gave Qin Feng a scornful gaze and sneered, Tisk, I dare you to jump now. I won't stop you. Qin Feng walked to the window, his gaze inadvertently falling on the corner of the wall by the windowsill, and a gleeful smile crossed his face. Let's forget about it. Sherman will be very sad if I really jumped. I know you just spoke in anger. In fact, you care a lot about me in your heart. Qin Feng cast a smile at Rao Sherman and walked to the door. Stop it right there. Rao Sherman suddenly called to Qin Feng as soon as he reached the door. If you're not young Master Qin, then when will the real young Master Qin be back? I'm attending your company's opening ceremony the day after tomorrow. I hope you can get him back as soon as possible. Please rest assured, Sherman. I've talked to young Master Qin. He'll be coming back at most the day after tomorrow. During that time, I'll personally arrange a dinner for both of you. Qin Feng replied, a smile playing on his lips. Then you may leave now. Rao Sherman sent a glare at Qin Feng and went to do her own business. She took out a fresh bedsheet and changed the one Qin Feng sat on earlier. Qin Feng was uncomfortable with Rao Sherman's reaction. He swore this superstar would give in to him one day. At that time, he would take off his clothes and hug her all night. He wanted to see if she would change her bedsheet again. Qin Feng left Rao Sherman's villa. The sky was dark and the moon was dim. Only his murmurs could be heard. Why did she install a camera in her room? This woman is indeed very suspicious. Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2 Villas. Today was a big day for Royal Group. The opening for Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2 Villas, and most of the employees from the sales department gathered at the site. The entry to the residences was filled with various flower baskets, banners, and posters of Rao Sherman. The atmosphere was as heated as a Stars concert. Qin Feng and Rao Sherman were waiting in the VIP room for her entrance. As the manager of the sales department, Liu Chun had the authority to be there as well. Su Ruoro, on the other hand, was forced by Qin Feng into the room. This was because Qin Feng considered Su Ruoro his lady. How could he leave her outside to be ordered by someone under the rain? Little sister Sherman, you're so pretty today. The three women chit-chat non-stop, casting Qin Feng aside like air. Rao Sherman wore a bright red qipao with a long train dragging on the floor. She had light makeup on her delicate face as well, purple eyeshadow, a faint blush, and crimson lip gloss. She was as beautiful as a rose. Of course, Lil, sis Sherman is beautiful. Can't you see some pervert is eagerly pasting his eyes on Lil, sis Sherman's body? Said Liu Chun while staring at Qin Feng. Her tone was sarcastic, carrying a hint of jealousy at the same time. Qin Feng quickly turned his gaze away and smiled embarrassedly. Managerly, please mind your words. I'm not looking at Miss Sherman. I've been weighing the rain outside the window. Qin Feng was the only man in the VIP room. He couldn't pretend he hadn't been peeking at her just now. We've known each other for such a long time. How could we not understand your behavior? Please don't hide yourself anymore and become a gutless person. Liu Chun refused to put down the topic and kept on pressing Qin Feng. Qin Feng turned grim. He looked at Su Ruoro and asked seriously, Ruoro, please tell managerly how I treat you in Qin Manor. Am I honest and kind-hearted? Someone who never bullies you or covets your beauty before. Holy Jesus, you're just my superior. It doesn't mean you can bully me like that. Qin Feng, please don't force me to lie. You know I don't know how to lie. Su Ruoro cast an aggravated gaze at Qin Feng. Like a deflated balloon, Qin Feng puffed and his vigilant attitude softened all of a sudden. He decided he'd lecture Su Ruoro tonight when they arrived at home. Since when has this lass started to bite the hand that feeds her? Hee, Qin Feng, what do you have to say? You truly are a big bad wolf. Liu Chen laughed triumphantly. Qin Feng glared scornfully at Liu Chen and thought to himself, is something wrong with this lass? Ever since she came back from Qingshui town after visiting her parents, she proactively looked for trouble with him. This kind of ungrateful behavior angered Qin Feng greatly. I admit I was peeking at Rao Sherman's boobs and long legs. I even took a peek at Ruoro, who had her head lowered and was working seriously. I think both of them are very elegant beauties, and I like them very much. But I swear, I've never snuck a peek at you. Not even once. Even the people concerned haven't made their stand yet. How can you speak for them? Is it because nobody was looking at you, and you felt charmless and inferior, so you proactively looked for trouble with me? I tell you, I, Qin Feng, am not a gutless person whatsoever. If you aren't convinced, then follow me to the forest behind. I'll let you know my true self, said Qin Feng while staring furiously at Liu Chen. Rao Sherman champed with rage when she heard Qin Feng admit that he was peeking at her boobs and legs. In contrast, when Su Ruoro heard that Qin Feng was secretly looking at her while she was working, a gush of warmth welled up in her heart. Qin Feng didn't peek at Liu Chen, who was so angry that her breasts were bouncing vigorously, up and down, and her white shirt might pop open at any moment. She felt she was going to explode from rage. However, she suppressed her anger and smiled charmingly. Qin Feng, I would rather go with Wang Chao than follow a vulgar person like you to the forest. Although Liu Chen tried very hard to put a smile on her face to conceal her feelings, the way she spoke revealed she was indeed very angry. It was strange, but she couldn't prevent her anger from rising. She deliberately said those words just to enrage Qin Feng. You think Wang Chao is better than me? Your sense of aesthetics and insight into people are really questionable, Qin Feng sneered. If my people savvy is bad, then I wouldn't be the manager of the sales department. I think Wang Chao is better than you. Were you not convinced with that? Liu Chen replied without batting an eye. It is you who thinks I'm an eyesore. Do you have the guts to go into that small room for a talk? Qin Feng pointed to the lounge in the VIP room. Who said I'm scared? Let's go right now. Liu Chen stood up at once and entered the lounge first. She wore a uniform on her body and black stockings on her long and slender legs. A sexy beat resounded when she walked with her high heels. The sight of her graceful figure could easily seduce thousands of nerds. This foolish lass finally fell for it. With a grin on his face, Qin Feng rubbed his hands and followed her into the lounge. Before he left Qingshui town, Motherly had asked Qin Feng to take good care of Chen Chen's body. Qin Feng thought his chance had finally came. He wanted to punish Liu Chen sternly in the lounge. He would like to see if she still had the guts to quarrel with him ever again. Chapter 286. Chapter 286. She likes me. Liu Chen walked into the lounge. Her eyes were a bit red, and she felt unspeakably wronged. Even she didn't know what was wrong with her. Ever since Qin Feng pretended to be young Master Qin and met her parents, Liu Chen felt like she was experiencing menopause. When she was at work, she couldn't really focus. The image of Qin Feng kept appearing in her mind, and she always attacked Qin Feng, purposely picking arguments with him. Liu Chen felt that her affected and unreasonable behavior was both unfamiliar and annoying. However, she couldn't prevent herself from acting that way because if she didn't look to trouble Qin Feng, he wouldn't really bother with her. Liu Chen couldn't help but want to speak with Qin Feng a bit more. Even if this meant arguing, it was fine. In conclusion, here they were. Liu Chen felt extremely wronged and helpless. Bang! Liu Chen was pulled out of her thoughts by the slam of a door. Qin Feng already strode in aggressively. Once Liu Chen saw Qin Feng, She was suddenly angry. This person actually peeped on Rao Sherman and Su Ruoro earlier, but he didn't even spare her a glance. What was wrong with his eyes? Was she that much worse than those two women? Qin Feng, I came into the lounge with you. What do you want? What can you do to me? I know you're part of Qin Manor, and you are associated with some people in upper management, but I'm not afraid of you. I don't think you dare do anything in broad daylight. If you have the guts, try and touch me. I'll bet you don't have the guts. Once Liu Chun opened her mouth, the unhappiness she held in for half a month came surging out. Right after the words came out of her mouth, she regretted them. What was she saying? If Qin Feng really got mad, then he wouldn't bother with her in the future. When he saw her, he'd be annoyed. Then what? Qin Feng was briefly stunned. In the past, Liu Chun was wise, far-sighted, and calm in the office. She did things in a clear and orderly manner and treated people with courtesy and kindness. Qin Feng rarely saw Liu Chun so unreasonable. He suddenly pounced on Liu Chun. This stinking woman said he didn't have guts? Qin Feng was ready to let her get a taste of them. Qin Feng, what are you doing? Wah, don't touch. Qin Feng's actions were too quick and too ferocious. Liu Chun cried out in shock. But, halfway through her cry, she felt her body pressed against a sturdy chest. She pursed her soft, little mouth and couldn't speak. Smack! Qin Feng gave Liu Chin's thigh a really hard slap. Stinking woman, have you taken the wrong medicine recently? Why do you keep butting heads with me? I haven't done anything to provoke you. Auntie was right. I should get on you as soon as possible and make you my lover. See if you'll have the guts to be fierce with me again. If you yell again, I'll lock you up at home and whip you with my belt. Qin Feng, you pervert. Wah, you're a beast. Liu Chin's felt hot pain course from her thigh. She felt both embarrassed and annoyed. She struggled in Qin Feng's embrace. However, Qin Feng was too strong. He hugged her tightly and refused to let go, so Liu Chun had no way of escaping. Smack! Qin Feng didn't hesitate to give her another slap. You're still yelling? So, you say I'm a beast and a huge pervert? Then today, I'll let you experience what a real pervert is. Qin Feng picked up Liu Chun and threw her onto the bed. Then, he pounced on her with one hand on her thigh to prevent her from leaving while his other hand removed her pretty high heels. Qin Feng, let go of me. I'm going to scream for help. Liu Chin's lips were freed and she yelled. Yell and see if anyone has the guts to come in and help you. If a man comes in, I'll kick him and send him flying. If a woman comes in, I'll drag her onto the bed and do her too. Qin Feng smiled evilly at Liu Chin's beautiful legs. When he had just joined Royal Group, he'd been taken with Liu Chin's exquisite thighs. He even tore her stockings to shreds in her office. Qin Feng squatted by the bed, while Liu Chin lay on it. From his angle, Liu Chin's lovely legs clad in black stockings were even longer and more alluring. He could even see up her skirt to the end. Qin Feng, if you dare touch me, you're done. Rip. Liu Qian had just spoken when she heard the sound of ripping stockings. She felt a gust of cold air caress her thigh. Qin Feng tore the black stocking on her left leg in half. Ah, Qin Feng, I'll kill you. Rip. Liu Chin's elegant fists missed Qin Feng, and the stocking on her right leg was also torn. Stinking woman, see how I deal with you today. In the future, be my lover obediently. The allure of the beautiful legs lit a fire in Qin Feng's belly. He waved his large hand and tossed the torn stockings to the floor. He smiled evilly at Liu Chun and pounced on her. Qin Feng, the event's beginning. Hurry and come out. Su Ruoro's pleasant voice came from outside the room, and her urgent knocking was heard as well. Qin Feng pursed his lips and looked angrily at Liu Chun and said, Consider yourself lucky today. Next time, look for me while wearing white stockings. I think you'd be even sexier in white stockings. Pervert. Qin Feng walked out of the lounge. There was an addition of 4 bodyguards clad in black and a dozen employees in the VIP room. They were scrambling to prepare for the impending opening ceremony. Qin Feng, is Manager Li all right? Su Ruoro tugged on Qin Feng's arm and looked worriedly at Qin Feng. The lounge didn't have very good soundproofing. Qin Feng and Li Yuqin's intense actions could be heard from outside. Actually, I think Manager Li is a pretty good person and she takes good care of me at work. Qin Feng, don't bully her. Though she is a couple of years older than us, she's a woman, and women need to feel safe and to be cared for. Su Ruoro looked earnestly at Qin Feng. I know. Qin Feng looked back earnestly at Su Ruoro as well. The wild and vulgar expression he had in the lounge disappeared. He furrowed his brows with a deep and unfathomable expression. You know? Then why did you still treat Manager Li that way? She's usually hardworking, suffers, and has no boyfriend to care for her. I actually think she's pretty pitiful. Su Ruoro hugged Qin Feng's arm and looked at him foolishly. Because she likes me. Qin Feng waggled his eyebrows, and his expression became heavier. Su Ruoro shoved Qin Feng's arm away with a huff and said, Qin Feng, I'm serious. Can't you be more serious, even for a bit? Qin Feng felt as though Su Ruoro stabbed him in the heart. He looked at her earnestly. Ruoro, I'm very serious. General Manager Li likes me. This time, even Rao Sherman, who was sitting quietly to the side, couldn't listen on. She opened her sexy red lips and two adjectives drifted indifferently out of her mouth: shameless, perverted. Ruoro is going to ignore you as well. Su Ruoro glared at Qin Feng and huffed as she ran over to sit beside Rao Sherman. Qin Feng sat alone on one side. He suddenly felt incomparably wronged. Now you know why I'm so shameless and dissolute and why lies come out of my mouth when I open it. Because no one believes me when I tell the truth. This was an era when if men weren't bad, women didn't love them. Qin Feng really believed that Li Yuqin liked him and was certain that he wasn't wrong. He discovered this after returning from Qingshui town because Li Yuqin changed. She became jealous, wanted to bicker with him, and wanted to be with him. Qin Feng was increasingly shameless and mean toward her because he detected her feelings. He taught her time and time again, and even acted like a hoodlum. Qin Feng didn't want Li Yuqin to fall too deep because he had no reason to accept a good woman like Li Yuqin. He had been to the village Li Yuqin grew up in and saw her straightforward and honest father and forceful and sincere mother. He began to gain a deep understanding of Li Yuqin's feelings and life. The more he knew of her, the more he cherished and cared for her. Qin Feng learned of Li Yuqin's impoverished but happy youth, her soft and lonely heart under her strong exterior, and that she was of marriageable age and longed impatiently for the arrival of a prince on a white horse. She was beautiful on the outside and just as bright on the inside. Qin Feng couldn't give her monogamy and love. He could only wish she found the right person and lived happily ever after. Miss Sherman, everything is prepared and in order. Chairman Qin is on stage ready to begin at any moment. Come with us backstage. After Chairman Qin speaks, it'll be your turn to go on stage to perform. The deputy manager of Royal Group's administrative department, Wang Jun, ran over urgently. When he saw Qin Feng, he nodded subtly in greeting. Okay, thank you for your troubles. Rao Sherman smiled politely at Wang Jun, then stood and walked out. October was rainy, and it was drizzling outside. However, this did nothing to lessen the fervor of the opening ceremony because Royal Group was able to invite the famous celebrity Rao Sherman to help. The stage was filled with people. A row of 4 bodyguards in black stood in front, and Rao Sherman followed leisurely in her red qipao. Su Ruoro carried the train of Rao Sherman's long dress. She trailed Rao Sherman like a beautiful, little flower girl. Qin Feng was in charge of staying by her side, paying attention to the surroundings. On stage, Qin Huang was dressed immaculately. His aura was unordinary, and he was saying his thanks before the opening. There were a good number of rows of chairs below the stage. Royal Group's old patrons and investors sat there, and more shareholders stood to the side and weighed how the event progressed. Firstly, on behalf of all employees of Royal Group, I want to express my extreme gratitude that you all could take time from your busy schedules to participate in the opening of Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2. Cloud City Hua Manor is Royal Group's second high-class collection of villas. Because Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 1 was so popular, the second phase is being opened to repay your love and support for Royal Group. As Acropolis City's richest man, it was difficult to see Qin Huang. Though he spoke politely, the audience were in a great mood. They were extremely excited to see Qin Huang in person. Quite a few people pulled out their phones to take pictures, and various large tabloids took lots of pictures and fought for the frontmost position. Let me announce the opening of Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2's residences. Customers can go to the sales department to look at the buildings and pre-order them. Next is our program's highlight. Royal Group has specially invited China's A-list superstar, Miss Rao Sherman, to come perform. Let us give a warm welcome to Sherman as we invite her on stage. Rao Sherman was going to appear. The crowd below immediately fell into a frenzy. Half of the audience at Royal Group's opening ceremony was there just to see Rao Sherman. And of the reporters there, most of them were entertainment reporters that came just to film Rao Sherman. Amidst the audience's cheers and screams, Rao Sherman wore a red qipao with a high slit. Once her fair, unblemished, long legs were revealed, the audience was in a daze. Su Ruoro held Rao Sherman's dress and brought her on stage. Then, she shyly ran back off stage. Rao Sherman stood alone on the large and well-lit stage. She looked at the close to 1,000 people in the audience with a smile. Her smile contained no hint of nervousness or fear. She was China's A-lister, and her name was known around the world as well. Every year, she sang in concerts at stadiums with up to 100,000 people. There were only 1,000 people here, so that was a trifle to her. Chapter 287. Chapter 287. Stage collapsed. Rao Sherman, Rao Sherman, Rao Sherman, I love you. Sherman, I'm your most hardcore fan. I'll support you until the end of the world. Sherman, I want to marry you. This is my dream. Facing these fervent and passionate fans standing below the stage, a charming smile rose on Rao Sherman's face. Although she was China's most famous top-tier superstar, she never put on the airs of a celebrity. She treated everybody, including her fans, politely and with gratitude. Because Rao Sher knew that without their support, she couldn't have come so far. She was kind and grateful, so she kept on exceeding her limits and creating one popular song after another to repay her fans. My awesomely cute, passionate, and kind fans, I miss you all so much. Rao Sherman shouted from the bottom of her heart through the microphone. Sherman, we'll support you forever. Sherman, you're our friend, our glory. Have you ever seen a celebrity who didn't put on airs after becoming famous? Have you ever seen a celebrity who would shout, I miss you all very much before her concert started? Have you ever seen a group of fans who truly felt their beloved star wasn't a star but more like a good friend to them and felt proud of her like she was their own family? This was Rao Sherman, a superstar in China's music and movie industries. Her career success wasn't by chance or by unwritten rules. Since she was 12 years old, she trained very hard at developing her vocal and dancing skills. She even worked around the clock for 8 years to achieve her current position. 10 years of practice for 1 minute on stage. Rao Sherman was kind and beautiful, talented, and humble. It'd be weird for her not to succeed. To all of my friends whom I haven't seen for years, I present you the song Because of You to express my current feelings. Because of you and all of you, I've become stronger, braver, and I can live my life to my heart's content. Rao Sherman spoke as she held the microphone with her slender fingers. Those fervent and passionate fans fell silent. The song Because of You was Rao Sherman's greatest hit, and it was her fans' favorite. They could listen to this song over and over without tiring of it. Because of you, I won't give up on my dreams. Because of you, light has appeared before me. We met a summer day 8 years ago. The lotuses were in full bloom, and your smile was brighter than the lotus. In the blink of an eye, time flew by. I walked on the road of my dreams, completely because of you. And you, where are you? Poetic scenes were evoked by a familiar melody and wonderful yet sad lyrics sung by a beautiful voice. Dusky sky, the rain dancing with the wind. Even the gods were moved by Rao Sherman's voice and swayed along with her gentle and tranquil melody. The umbrellas of these fervent fans fell to the floor one after another. Their minds calmed, and they stood in the drizzle with their eyes closed, enjoying this wonderful song to the fullest. This song would trigger youthful memories in everyone who heard it. Those wonderful stories and emotions that faded with the passage of time seemed to come back to them slowly. Immature first love, pure friendship, unbreakable family. Everything seemed to be within their reach. They were standing under the rain, enjoying the wonderful moment as the rain fell on their bodies. They were standing in the wind, listening to the most primitive and beautiful music of nature. They were willing to stand together with Rao Sherman no matter where she was, even if she was standing in the midst of gale and drizzle. This was because they were her hardcore fans, her family. The eyes of Su Ruoro were brimming with tears. The song brought to mind youthful memories, but most of hers were painful and difficult memories. Liu Chun had already emerged from the lounge. She had taken off the black stockings shredded by Qin Feng and stood beside Su Ruoro with her long and slender legs exposed. Her eyes were hazed and distant as she was immersed in the song as well, recalling her memories. On the other hand, Qin Feng's memories went back to 8 years ago. A blazing hot, sunny day in September, beside Lotus Lake. He gazed at Rao Sherman singing and dancing on the stage. She was like the rising sun, shining brightly on stage. She dispelled any lurking darkness and melted the gloom in one's heart. At this moment, Qin Feng felt the urge to rush on stage and embrace her tightly in his arms. He'd like to tell everybody that from now on, the superstar Rao Sherman was Qin Feng's woman, but this was just an impulsive idea. Not only Qin Feng had it, all her fans had it as well. Qin Feng slowly regained his senses. He then shook his head and murmured bitterly, "She really looks like that little girl. Because of you, I'm not afraid of scorching sun and harsh winter. Because of you, all my worries have settled down." Rao Sherman's silvery voice echoed in the venue. Because she was wearing a tight, bright red qipao, she couldn't move freely, so her dancing was alluring and sexy rather than youthful and energetic to one's eyes. This no longer was a real estate launch. It had become a small fan gathering. Bang bang. People were silent. Only the sounds of the wind, rain, and Rao Sherman's voice could be heard. Beauty and music, drizzle and light breeze. It was such an idyllic scene that anyone would be immersed in it. However, a wonderful sight like this was suddenly shattered by 2 gunshots. Rao Sherman stopped singing abruptly. She'd heard gunshots before, so she instantly knew the 2 abrupt sounds were gunfire. The thousands of spectators below the stage screamed. Some of them had heard the sound of a gunshot before, so when someone shouted "gunshot," it spread it across the crowd quickly. Thousands of people were like cats on a hot tin roof. Some of them ran with their eyes closed while some of them ran with their eyes wide. Regardless of whether their eyes were closed or open, all of them ran in panic, looking for an exit. The situation was chaotic and out of control. "Everybody, please don't be afraid. Please calm down." The bodyguards hired by Royal Group began to take action. Team 1, bring Chairman Qin and the VIPs away from here, quick. Team 2, evacuate the people now. Team 3, assist Team 2 in evacuation. Make sure there's no stampede and no casualties. Team 4, find the shooter. The moment the gunshot resounded, Qin Feng's eyebrows furrowed deeply. He quickly glanced through the crowd. His father, Su Ruoro, Liu Chun, and Rao Sherman. He was relieved to see them all safe. Both of the 2 gunshots had seemingly missed their targets. Creak. The metal frame on the stage released a slight cracking sound. The makeshift stage was on the verge of collapse. Rao Sherman was nervous. Below the stage was chaos and she was afraid of going down, but she felt very insecure about staying alone on the stage as well. "Oh my gosh, the stage is going to collapse." A cry suddenly drifted from the crowd that was being evacuated. Everyone simultaneously looked toward Rao Sherman, who was still on the stage. The metal frame behind Rao Sherman was swaying in the wind. It looked like it would break at any moment. If the metal frame fell, then what would happen to Rao Sherman, who was standing under it? The metal frame might crush her to a meat pulp. "Sherman, be careful. Sherman, Sherman, run fast, run for your life." A dozen of fans forgot to escape when they saw this scene. They were at a loss and could only yell frantically at Rao Sherman, unable to comprehend the current situation. Rao Sherman slowly spun her body. When she saw the metal frame had tilted down, her brain turned to mush all of a sudden. This was because she knew she didn't have time to escape. Sherman, Rao Sherman. Ugh, Sherman, please be fine. There was a sea of roars and cries as their hearts clenched. All of them had lost hope. Some of them even closed their eyes. They could imagine the tragedy that would happen in the next second. Was this the fall of China's pure goddess? She was just getting started, still in the prime of her life. Shroom. A gale suddenly blew past the crowd, and a shadow disappeared in a blink of an eye. Qin Feng tapped his foot and arrived above the stage right away. He understood now. The two gunshots weren't fired at anyone but at the screws on stage. They shattered the makeshift stage directly. Were these people aiming at Rao Sherman? Why didn't they just kill her with a bullet? Why did they have to shatter the stage to crush her to death? Isn't this superfluous? Qin Feng was running out of time. He stopped his brain from racing because he had to rescue Rao Sherman now. Sherman, run now? Qin Feng got to the stage. He immediately pulled her hand and wanted to bring her down. Rao Sherman stared at Qin Feng with her wide and charming eyes. Obviously, she was frightened, unresponsive to Qin Feng's call. Crash. Unable to bear the weight anymore, the huge metal frame behind them collapsed entirely. Qin Feng sensed it was too late, even if he wanted to jump together with Rao Sherman right now. So without any hesitation, Qin Feng quickly embraced Rao Sherman in his arms and held her tightly. Sherman, don't be afraid. I'm here with you. I won't let anything happen to you. He turned his back to the falling metal frame and looked fondly at Rao Sherman. Countless expressions flashed across Rao Sherman's face as she saw the metal frame landed on Qin Feng's back. Rao Sherman always had the impression that Qin Feng was a vulgar and shameless guy. She never imagined he'd use his flimsy back and prop up a piece of sky for her. He hugged her tightly in his thick and warm arms, protecting her from all harm. This warmth was much more comfortable than a winter sun and much brighter than a sunflower. Rao Sherman could only shrink her body and stand quietly in Qin Feng's arms. She felt Qin Feng's arms were warm. She couldn't hear any sound at this moment. Those whispers seemed to come to an end. All she could hear was Qin Feng's fast, strong heartbeat. This was, by far, the most beautiful music she'd ever heard. Not even her own heavenly voice could compare to it. It's better to send charcoal during winter than gild the lily. Those people who usually follow you when you're at the pinnacle of your career are either ass-kissers or wolves in sheep's clothing. However, those who are willing to stand by you when you're in a great danger are the ones you can depend on. Rao Sherman just realized Qin Feng was the person whom she could rely on. Qin Feng, I never imagined I'd stand in your arms and go to another world with you. Qin Feng, thank you for letting me die gracefully without any fear. As Rao Sherman spoke, she cast a gentle-as-water gaze at Qin Feng. She thought it would be a waste if she died before giving her first kiss to anyone. So when she looked at Qin Feng's handsome profile, her pair of soft, tender, red lips automatically fell lightly on his lips. Qin Feng, this is my first kiss. I gave it to you as a compliment for your brave heart. I hope we can be friends in the afterlife. Rao Sherman was dazed as she kissed Qin Feng's thick and gentle lips. This was because she felt Qin Feng suddenly turn frenzied and demand for more. He extended his tongue into her mouth. His move was so fast and domineering that Rao Sherman didn't have a chance to resist or refuse him. Both of their tongues were entangled together, but Rao Sherman didn't know how to kiss. It was Qin Feng who led her into exploring this mysterious zone. Since this was the first time Rao Sherman kissed a man, she was already overwhelmed by this stimulating and shy feeling. Nobody knew how much time passed when Rao Sherman suddenly regained her senses. She widened her eyes as big as saucers and stared at Qin Feng. What's happening now? What's going on? Are we dead? But why did the kiss and the skin contact feel so real? Rao Sherman forcibly pushed Qin Feng away and looked upward. The metal frame had already fallen, but a shocking scene appeared right before her. The huge, solid metal frame stopped in midair and didn't crush her or Qin Feng. This was because Qin Feng used his thick, broad shoulders to forcibly lift the 500 kilograms metal frame. Not only Rao Sherman was stunned, even the crowd that was being evacuated had stopped amazed by this sight. They'd seen Qin Feng suddenly appear on stage like Superman. He hugged Rao Sherman and used his back to support the metal frame. He smooched with Rao Sherman under the rain, lifting the heavy weight all by himself. Was this the power of love? The kiss of a goddess was so miraculous. Su Ruoro cried. She was weeping buckets as she thought Qin Feng and Rao Sherman would be smashed to death. She shouted their names with all of her strength, just like a helpless little girl. On the other hand, Liu Chun was so nervous that she broke her high heels. When she saw Qin Feng and Rao Sherman crushed under the metal frame, her concern for them wasn't any less than Su Ruoro's. It was just that they had different personalities, so the way they reacted was different. Chapter 288. Chapter 288. Live and die together. Sherman, get down quickly. I can't hold on for much longer, said Qin Feng through gritted teeth. Rao Sherman only now regained her senses from the shock and the passionate kiss. She quickly ran off the stage when she saw Qin Feng's completely red face. PFFF. Rao Sherman had just gotten off the stage when a mouthful of fresh blood sprayed out of Qin Feng's mouth. He currently had Stage 3 external abilities and intermediate Thunder Tiger fists, and could exert 7 times a normal person's strength. However, his body could only withstand 5 times the weight that normal people could withstand, around 300 to 350 kilograms. Though Qin Feng usually wore the 250 kilograms flying dragon armor, and it helped raise his endurance, even when he exerted inner chi, holding up the 500 kilograms metal frame was his limit. PFFF. Qin Feng opened his mouth to spit another mouthful of fresh blood. Every time a mouthful of blood came out, his endurance dropped slightly. The metal frame felt heavier and heavier. Qin Feng's lower body had already sunk into the wooden stage, and he had no way of freeing himself. Qin Feng. When the 3 girls saw this scene, they ran to Qin Feng. Rao Sherman, Su Ruoro, and Liu Chen squatted beside Qin Feng, and 3 pairs of soft hands got a death grip on the enormous metal frame. Though they knew it was impossible, they attempted to help push the metal frame off Qin Feng's back. Even if they couldn't push it off, at least they'd help a bit by sharing some of its weight. Leave. All of you, leave. Qin Feng roared angrily. The 3 women were shocked. It was their first time seeing Qin Feng so angry. They didn't know that this was because Qin Feng couldn't take it anymore. The metal frame would fall down completely at any moment, and if the 3 of them didn't leave, it would kill them. Qin Feng, I'm not leaving. I'm going to stay with you. Su Ruoro hugged Qin Feng and burst into tears. Rao Sherman's and Liu Chen's charming eyes glistened with tears as well, but they were stronger. They raised their heads and didn't allow their tears to fall. Qin Feng, hurry and come out. If you come out now, I'll disregard the matter of you ripping my stockings in the lounge earlier. And I'll even wear white stockings tomorrow and let you do what you want of me in my office, said Liu Chen anxiously. Qin Feng, you're like this because of me. I can't leave either. Rao Sherman's tone was staunch as well. The 3 women all had their reasons for staying. They had death grips on the metal frame and looked like they wouldn't leave without Qin Feng. Qin Feng's lips lifted slightly. He really wanted to burst into tears because he was so moved by the 3 women. When he was really young, he was envied because of his illustrious family background. He was forcefully crowned a hedonistic young master that was dissolute and vulgar. He couldn't rid himself of this title even if he wanted to. Thus, Qin Feng simply indulged himself and became a real hedonistic young master. Every day, he indulged in feasting, pleasure-seeking, and mutual deception. He knew that every person that got close to him had ulterior motives. Everyone in Acropolis City knew his name, yet Qin Feng didn't have any real friends. Qin Feng pretty much played with all of the beauties in Acropolis, but no one treated him wholeheartedly. Qin Feng felt as though his life was a complete failure back then. It looked bright and beautiful from the outside, but he was lonely. He hadn't imagined that there would be a day when he'd have a friend that he could devote himself to, or a woman who would be willing to die for him. Now, there were 3 silly women kneeling before him. Their knees were scraped, and their soft, little hands were cut, but they didn't leave or give up on him. For a long time, there had still been nothing. Then his stagnant body suddenly boiled crazily. Qin Feng knew that he was about to break through his limits. He wore the 250 kilograms flying dragon armor every day, wildly trained himself, didn't give up, and continued to work hard when people weren't weighing. But breaking through always took some time. Now, the opportunity was right in front of him. Smack, smack, smack. Qin Feng suddenly smiled. His smile was really happy and bright. It was genuine, the pure smile of an infant. He quickly kissed the 3 women on the lips in succession. The 3 women were stunned, and their eyes were wide as they looked stupidly at Qin Feng. He used the qi flow in his body to turn quickly. He felt his entire body heat up, and he wanted to go crazy. The qi from his abdomen got stronger and stronger. However, he felt like he had to brace his body for an explosion at any moment. Oh my, look at those 3 beauties. They are so infatuated. It's not like there'd be no more men in the world if he dies. Since you want to live and die together, this big brother will inconvenience himself to take all 3 of you. In the future, Big Brother will satisfy you all. Silver number 26, we're here to complete the assignment. If I were you, I'd shoot now. In a Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2 villa, 2 shadows lay on the top floor deck. One looked Chinese and wore a long white robe, while the other was a dark-skinned foreigner whose skin was as dark as his black clothing. Bronze number 1, you know that I'm responsible for directing our activities today. When I shoot isn't up to you. What kind of experts can there be in a godforsaken place like Acropolis that they called over someone from our silver group? I really don't know what the crew was thinking, said the black man in fluent Chinese. He had an arrogant expression as he stared at the middle-aged man in the white robe. Silver number 26, don't forget that this brat killed bronze number 8 and number 5. How could he be someone ordinary? The middle-aged man wearing a white robe had his gaze pinned on Qin Feng, and he was much more vigilant than the black man. Don't you find it embarrassing to mention that? What kind of trash are you bronze group people that the 5th and 8th experts together were annihilated by that brat? This only means that your bronze group is too weak. In a bit, I'll show you the strength of the silver group. The black man stared at the middle-aged man in the white robe once more, then ignored him. He pointed his icy silver handgun accurately at Qin Feng and was ready to shoot and kill him at any moment. Whoosh! Silver number 26 hadn't locked down on his target yet when a flash of light flew toward him. Fuck! We've been discovered. How is that possible? Silver number 26 made a strange noise, did a backflip, and narrowly dodged the light. A flying dagger struck deep into the concrete wall behind him, leaving only a couple of centimeters of its handle outside the wall. I've spotted the target in the villa at 10 o'clock. It seems like a woman. Bronze number 1 pinpointed the assailant's position when silver number 26 dodged the attack. Fuck, that bye. She actually took the initiative to oppose our golden assassin crew? Wait until this elder captures her. I'll tear her clothes off and screw her to death. Silver number 26 cursed her incessantly, but he became vigilant. His black eyes flashed with the sharpness of a hawk, and he looked at the villa in the 10 o'clock direction. It really is a woman. Her figure isn't bad. Your elder is going to have her today. Silver number 26 quickly discovered the target. He swung his hand forward, and a shot flew out at the speed of lightning. Bang! Another gunshot was heard. Even though he had a silencer, the low and dull sound was not completely blocked. Swoosh, swoosh. The whistles of flying daggers were heard at the same time as the gunshot. Shock flashed through silver number 26 and bronze number 1's faces because this time, their opponent threw 2 daggers, and it surpassed their predictions. There was actually someone who could dodge silver number 20's IXS gunshot and have time to counterattack? That woman's abilities really couldn't be discounted. Fuck, where the hell did this girl come from? Acropolis City is so small. When did so many strong people appear? Bye. You're forcing your elder to screw you to death. Silver number 26 yelled. He looked like he really wanted to rush up and kill her, but a flash of nervousness flitted across his face. At this time, he hid behind a wall and didn't dare peek out. Between one gunshot and two flying daggers, it was clear that the girl would beat him. Across from them, at 8 o'clock, on the third floor of a villa, a woman filled with an icy and murderous air half squatted on the balcony by a wall. She had clean and neat, light purple, ear-length hair. She wore tight, black leather clothing and black boots, and the black boots were filled with various daggers. She also wore a black veil so her features weren't completely visible. However, one could tell from her vibrant eyes that she was very attractive. Her eyes were as bright as stars and clear and calm like water. Every time she blinked, they were like twinkling stars that could sway the viewer's mood. This was a woman who could topple cities and countries with her beauty, and was also an expert with a murderous aura. The last time she appeared, her goal had been to harm Qin Feng on Lotus Lake. This time, she appeared at Phase 2 of Cloud City Hua Manor, and her agenda temporarily swayed to helping Qin Feng deal with the members of the Golden Assassin crew. Stinking brat, your great aunt lured out the target for you. If you still can't avoid that, then there's no need for me to work with you. I wish you luck. The young woman with black leather clothes and purple hair mumbled to herself, then disappeared. We fell into a trap. Bronze number 1 suddenly sighed. Silver number 26 wasn't as cocky as before. He knew the two of them had been played, and played by a woman. The two of them hid behind the wall, looking for the woman. Half a minute passed. They scanned the row of villas across from them, but they couldn't spot her. Based on their many years as assassins, they knew that woman was already gone. She suddenly appeared and disappeared, but she wasn't trying to fight them. She merely alerted Qin Feng, who was on the stage. She achieved her goal because Qin Feng's gaze now fell on the villa the two of them were at. Miss Sherman, please leave with us. Four bodyguards in black rushed on stage. Rao Sherman ignored them and continued to hold up the large frame with Su Ruoro and Liu Chun. Two assassins are hiding at 1 o'clock. Hurry and take these three women away. If they don't leave, then drag them away. Qin Feng discovered the positions of the assassins and naturally couldn't allow the three women to remain by his side. After Qin Feng spoke, the expressions of the four well-trained bodyguards in black changed. Three of them grabbed Rao Sherman, Su Ruoro, and Liu Chun, and led them to safety. The last one handled the final details. He kept Hua and reported the assassin's location into his walkie-talkie while trying to spot the assassins. Qin Feng, I'm not leaving. Don't touch me. Let go. Don't worry about me. I can walk. Hurry and save Qin Feng. He can't hold out much longer. Qin Feng, you got in trouble to save me. How can I leave? I want to leave when you do. The three women were taken away by the bodyguards, and each of them fought to run back. Qin Feng looked on, and the boiling qi flow within him went berserk. He felt as though his body would explode in the next second. Chapter 289. Chapter 289, Stage 3 Inner Qi. Bang! An explosion resounded. Qin Feng suddenly felt something blow up inside his body. The excruciating pain that was choking him suddenly disappeared. Now, he felt a kind of indescribable pleasure. It seemed like the burden that had been pressuring his body and heart for 20 years was gone. His body felt as light as a feather, as if he could soar into the sky at any moment. It felt like a raging ocean that had calmed down. It came with a violent and grand vehemence, and when it receded, it returned to a tranquil state as if nothing had happened before. However, Qin Feng knew something had indeed happened, because he could truly feel his inner qi was stronger and deeper while his inner strength was more domineering and powerful. This was a refreshing feeling, like spring bamboo up after rain, a thrilling experience as if he was reborn. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng. You've successfully raised your external strength to stage 4. You've been rewarded 2,000 hedonist points. Ding! Congratulations, Host Qin Feng, you've successfully raised your inner chi to stage 3. You've been rewarded 1,000 hedonist points. Ding. New mission from Hedonist Sovereign System. Raise your inner chi to stage 4. Time duration, 3 months. If you succeed in clearing the quest, you'll be rewarded 2,000 hedonist points. If you fail the quest, your inner chi will stop at stage 3 forever. Fuck. I should have blasted the little brat's brain out. You're going to die now anyway. Silver number 26 aimed his silver handgun at Qin Feng's head and pulled the trigger abruptly. With a muffled bang, the bullet turned into a streak of light and flew toward Qin Feng. It was impossible for an ordinary person to see the speed and course of a flying bullet. But now, the bullet in Qin Feng's eyes was flying as slow as a pebble thrown by an ordinary person. Its trajectory was imprinted clearly in Qin Feng's eyes. It was flying directly at his brain. Shroom. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth curled lightly. The aura around him suddenly thickened. Qin Feng then tapped on the floor using the tip of his foot, and he darted out like an arrow released from a bowstring. He dashed forward like a bolt of lightning toward the villa where silver number 26 was. Kaboom! The huge metal frame toppled under Qin Feng's momentum and fell to the floor, raising a dust storm. Qin Feng finished his movements within just a heartbeat. After silver number 26 fired, his countenance changed drastically. The scene of Qin Feng being headshot and his brain splashing in all directions didn't happen. He could only see the stage ravaged with dust, and that little brat was no longer in sight. He's coming. He's flying toward here, yelled Bronze number 1. The astonishment in his eyes grew stronger and stronger. There was nothing wrong with his description. Qin Feng was indeed flying. He utilized the remnants of berserk power that remained in his body after his breakthrough. He jumped lightly and he'd already shot over a dozen meters above the ground. Within a blink of an eye, he'd landed on the top floor deck. Both of Qin Feng's legs landed on the deck's parapet. He looked down on the duo that was hiding behind the wall. One was a bald Chinese man around 30 years old, wearing a long white robe. He looked fixedly at Qin Feng with a grave expression. His outfit and appearance were reminiscent of a brawler monk. The other person was a dark-skinned foreigner in black clothing. He was glaring at Qin Feng. "We underestimated you, brat. Even if you found us, the result is the same. You're gonna die." As an assassin, it was a disgrace for them to be discovered by their target. This type of disgrace was even more severe for those top assassins in the Golden Assassin crew. Silver number 26 then waved his big hand, pulled out his gun, and roared, "Bronze number 1. Let's attack him using formation A." Bang! Silver number 26 was a highly skilled marksman. His shooting speed was incredibly fast. An ordinary person wouldn't be able to react and wouldn't even know he was actually shooting. This was because he utilized the shooting skill flick when he fired his gun. He'd swing his gun and aim at the target at the same time. After that, he'd use his fast reaction speed and do a pinpoint shot at the last tenth of a second. Qin Feng moved. He disappeared in front of the duo again. Seeing no blood on the parapet, silver number 26 knew he'd missed Qin Feng. When he realized he'd missed again, he became mad. He was a top assassin in Golden Assassin Crew's Silver Group. His bullets had never missed any of his targets until today. This was the 4th time he'd missed since he'd met Qin Feng and that mysterious woman. "Brat, let me, Bronze number 1, meet you face to face. You dared to kill 2 dauntless warriors from my bronze group. Today will be your demise." As soon as silver number 26 fired, bronze number 1 made his move. His white robe shrieked loudly in the wind and his speed was as fast as a lightning bolt, casting an afterimage in one's eyes. In a large garden behind the villa, Qin Feng stood with his hands clasped behind his back. He intentionally lured bronze number 1 here because this place was a better place for a fight. Vroom. A buzzing suddenly drifted over from the sky. From a small white dot, the figure of bronze number 1 grew larger and larger. Earlier, he was unarmed, but now a long staff gleaming with an icy aura had appeared in his hand. The staff revolved quickly like a helicopter's rotor blades above bronze number 1's head, hurtling him toward Qin Feng. A staff and a person, white robe and bald. Qin Feng suspected that this person was really a brawler monk from a temple. Brat, want my staff? Bronze number 1 gave out a loud battle cry as he landed. He tapped on the ground lightly and swung his long staff at Qin Feng's head. Dang! When the long staff neared the tip of Qin Feng's nose, Qin Feng waved his big hand and summoned a long sword with pale yellow glow. The true steel sword clashed with the phantom staff, releasing a screeching sound that was deafening to one's ears. Orange-grade spiritual weapon. Bronze number 1's eyes were flashing brightly. He gazed at the shining true steel sword in Qin Feng's hand and exclaimed, "So this was the reason why number 5 and number 8 still couldn't defeat you even after they joined hands. It's because you own an orange-grade spiritual weapon. The monk is going to take this orange-grade treasure sword today." The long staff in bronze number 1 trembled suddenly. An enormous strength was then released from the staff, forcing Qin Feng to back 3 steps. At this moment, bronze number 1 leaped over Qin Feng's head, and with the phantom staff in his hand, he smashed it down ferociously. Shroom, shroom, shroom. It looked like an ordinary strike, but it drew a dozen staff shadows with murderous intent in midair. Each and every one of the staff shadows had enormous strength. If the strike landed on an ordinary person, it could easily shatter a person's bones and smashed him into a meat pulp in an instant. If an external expert cultivated inner strength, he could release the strength at once, but he needed to condense his inner strength before releasing it again. On the other hand, if an inner chi expert cultivated inner strength, he could release the strength a dozen times in a single strike without needing to condense it again. Looking at the gleaming staff shadows that covered the sky, Qin Feng knew the brawler monk in front of him was an inner chi expert. From the violent aura released by the staff shadows, Qin Feng deduced that the strength of this brawler monk was at least on par with Liang Zhengwei, who was a stage 4 inner chi expert when Qin Feng met him. Qin Feng was only a stage 2 external expert back then. After he completed the mission, acquiring Zhao Lingxian's affection, and bought a basic sword skill, he'd successfully broken through to stage 1 inner chi. Then he killed Liang Zhengwei, who was stage 4 inner chi expert, with a single slash. Winning had just been an incredible stroke of luck for him at that time, but since Qin Feng was now a stage 4 external expert plus a stage 3 inner chi expert, he believed he could vanquish a stage 4 inner chi expert now. Countless staff shadows were getting closer, and the violent aura was becoming so strong that it pressured a person so badly he couldn't breathe. A triumphant grin crossed bronze number 1's face as he imagined Qin Feng being crushed to a meat pulp by his attack. Buzz. Another buzzing echoed. However, this time was the sound made by Qin Feng brandishing the true steel sword. He remained in his original place and waved his left hand so fast it formed dozens of phantom shadows. The true steel sword in his hand moved like an illusion, drawing layers of orange-colored light above his head. The sword auras instantly collided with the staff shadows, causing a series of explosions. Stinking brat, you're an inner chi expert as well? The countenance of bronze number 1 changed drastically as he refused to accept the fact. He was now 35 years old and had just stepped into the realm of stage 4 inner chi. He could reach this stage in such a short time only because he stole the phantom staff and the scroll of the phantom staff technique from his sect. And now, Qin Feng was only around 20 years old, but the sword aura he released was easily a ma for his staff style. Bronze number 1 wouldn't have been surprised if this kind of genius appeared in the provincial capital. But how could a genius martial artist appear in a small city like Acropolis City? Shouldn't an assassin investigate his target first before killing him? Isn't a little bit too late for you to realize the truth now? Qin Feng sneered. He suddenly leaped forward and came to bronze number 1's side. He hadn't drawn out his full potential yet, using only around 70% of his strength to test the strength of bronze number 1. After Qin Feng was certain that his opponent was in the realm of stage 4 inner chi, Qin Feng had no more apprehensions about killing an expert of this stage again with his current strength. The true steel sword slashed down fiercely from above. It looked like a simple slash, but it was filled with a strength that could topple mountains and overturn seas. The airstream around it splashed wide, causing a dozen explosions. Bronze number 1 was frightened and planned to escape, but he realized his effort was futile. Qin Feng had cast his sword auras all over the place, blocking all the escape routes. Bang! A gunshot rang. Qin Feng, who wanted to slash Bronze number 1, suddenly sheathed his sword and leaped backward, retreating a few meters away. On the ground where he'd just been, a bullet dug deeply into the soil. Bang bang! A hail of gunshots echoed. Qin Feng realized silver number 26 kept shifting positions because the bullets came from different places each time. Qin Feng, who'd had the upper hand just now, couldn't do anything but only jump around to dodge the barrage of attacks from silver number 26. What a talented youngster. But unfortunately, you offended the Golden Assassin crew and there's only one way out for you. Die. Seeing a nimble Qin Feng dodge all of silver number 20's attacks, a hint of admiration flashed across Bronze number 1's eyes. Only now did he realize the true strength of Qin Feng. This person's speed was faster than his and his inner chi was stronger and deeper than his. Luckily, the organization considered Qin Feng an extremely dangerous target and ordered him and silver number 26 to assassinate Qin Feng from both long range and close range. If not, Bronze number 1 would already have been dead. The gunshots rang out continuously. Silver number 26 was sniping from a distance to obstruct Qin Feng's attack. Bronze number 1, on the other hand, was lurking around, waiting for the perfect moment to deal Qin Feng a fatal blow. Chapter 290. Chapter 290, Perfect Record Broken. Whoosh! Bronze number 1's shadow flitted by, and he appeared behind Qin Feng. The damn gunshots became fiercer, and they coordinated with Bronze number 1's attacks. This was a lethal attack, and a crucial one. The silver, shadowless staff danced in the air. This time, it didn't form countless staff shadows. It merely struck down. However, the originally illusory staff shadows hid, combining with the actual staff and making the staff even stronger. This staff struck at the back of Qin Feng's head. Qin Feng could only move forward and could not turn back because bullets came incessantly from behind him. The speed of the bullets were such that he could only dodge them thrillingly. He couldn't spare any of his concentration to deal with Bronze number 1. Whoosh whoosh. The whistling of the wind from behind him grew louder and louder, and the fierce pressure from the same direction came closer and closer. Qin Feng knew that if he continued to blindly run away like this, he would get hit by the staff. Though the staff wasn't formidable enough to kill Qin Feng, it would severely injure him. When fighting two experts of the Golden Assassin crew, getting severely injured was tantamount to dying. Die! Suddenly, Qin Feng stopped and roared. He'd already determined the position of the assassins. His right hand held the true steel sword and thrust backward, clashing with Bronze number 1's phantom spear and blocking his attack. At the same time, a long orange whip suddenly appeared in his hand. The spirit snake whip flew into the sky, then fell on one of the windows on the 3rd floor. Crackle! This whip was like lightning that struck down from the heavens. It shattered the windowsill and split silver number 26, who was hiding below it, in half. Blood shot out of the 3rd floor window like a water jet. Silver number 26 lay on the floor, his body bisected, but his astonished expression could still be clearly seen on both halves of his face. He died without understanding how he died. He hadn't thought Qin Feng could suddenly stop, brave death, and attack him. What he really couldn't understand was where the spirit snake whip had come from. The two men had already been alarmed when Qin Feng pulled out the orange-grade true steel sword, and they were practically frightened to death when Qin Feng so casually pulled the spirit snake whip out. Silver number 26 was killed by one whip. Bronze number 1 was stunned, and he looked completely shaken. By the time he regained his senses and looked at Qin Feng holding the spirit snake whip, the calmness in his face completely disappeared. At that was left was boundless fear. As a member of the top international assassin group, Bronze number 1 had lost count of how many people he'd killed. He'd killed various types of people: martial artists, high officials, bosses, and normal people not worth mentioning. No matter which target he killed, as the leader of the Bronze group, Bronze number 1 had never been afraid. However, in the little Acropolis city today, Bronze Number 1 was terrified upon meeting a genius that was at least a stage 4 enrich expert. He wasn't like other assassins who gave no thought to life or death. He'd stolen his sect's secret treasures, the Phantom Staff and the Phantom Staff technique. Hunted by his entire sect, he only joined the Golden Assassin crew because he had nowhere else to run. He didn't want to die, so he could only run. Whoosh! Bronze Number 1 suddenly moved. He grabbed the true steel sword that was stabbed into the ground and quickly made his escape. He knew he couldn't beat Qin Feng, and he wasn't as fast as Qin Feng either. Thus, the coveted true steel sword became the sole weapon that could save him. He really wanted to take this orange-grade spiritual equipment away, but if he did, he would die. This was the Golden Assassin crew's second time trying to kill Qin Feng, and the second time they failed. This became a shameful part of the Golden Assassin crew's history. Qin Feng broke their record of never failing an assignment since their conception. After all, ever since the Golden Assassin crew's founding, there was no task they hadn't completed. The first time they failed, they wanted to give their all to eliminate their target the second time. After all, their record had remained impeccable for 20 years. However, Qin Feng broke it. Not only did he break the Golden Assassin crew's record of infallibility, he also killed 3 of their assassins. This was also unprecedented. They were assassins from the Golden Assassin crew. How could they get killed? Qin Feng dragged his injured right leg back toward the stage. Police cars already surrounded the location, and there was a police cordon encircling the area to limit access. The 1,000-plus people who came to participate in the ceremony and the reporters were led away in bays by the police. Rao Sherman, Su Ruoro, and Liu Chun were safely settled who knew where. Dark clouds filled the sky, and a light drizzle lingered in the air. It was bustling all around. Qin Feng suddenly joining the crowd didn't arouse much notice. Qin Feng was about to walk into the lounge when he heard a cold but pleasant voice come from behind him. Qin Feng didn't turn his head, but Lu Bingbing ran over. Director Lu, long time no see, greeted Qin Feng with a smile when he saw the stern and proud Lu Bingbing. Long time no see, my ass. I saw you 2 days ago, brat. When I see you, Once Lu Bingbing saw him, she wanted to argue with him, but then her gaze suddenly fell to his pants that were dyed red with blood. She covered her mouth and gasped, Qin Feng, you're injured? Lu Bingbing squatted to look at Qin Feng's injured thigh. Qin Feng wanted to leave, but Lu Bingbing pulled him back. How did you get shot? So that assassin was aiming for you? No, your wound must be treated immediately, and the bullet must be removed as soon as possible. Otherwise, it could constrict a meridian, and your leg would be rendered useless. Unfazed, Lu Bingbing pulled out some tissue, squatted, and carefully wiped the blood around Qin Feng's wound. This was Qin Feng's first time seeing Lu Bingbing worried about him. When he saw her squatting before him looking so concerned and careful, a thought swept through Qin Feng's mind. The button on Director Lu's chest has popped off, and she doesn't know. How big and white? Qin Feng, come with me. I'm taking you to the hospital right now. After conducting simple treatment on Qin Feng's wound, Lu Bingbing raised her head to look at him. She noticed that Qin Feng wasn't listening to what she was saying. He had his gaze pinned to who knew what. When Lu Bingbing followed Qin Feng's gaze to her half-exposed breasts, her blood boiled and rushed to her head as she sent a kick at Qin Feng. Pervert. Stinking hooligan. Ow. Director Lu, I have no bad blood with you. Why do you want to kill me every time you see me? Lu Bingbing gave a powerful kick that landed right on Qin Feng's wound. Hey, are you all right? Lu Bingbing realized that she was too agitated, and she looked worriedly at Qin Feng. All right? Himph. If I shot your leg and kicked the wound, would you be all right? Plus, you kicked with heels on. Qin Feng looked unhappily at Lu Bingbing. If it was the Lu Bingbing of the past, how could she let Qin Feng yell at her? She would have gotten into a heated argument with him. However, she didn't get mad or hit him. She looked expressionlessly at Qin Feng, then suddenly took his arm and supported him toward the ambulance. Director Lu, I'm not going to the hospital. Take me back to Qin Manor. We have a doctor there. Qin Feng pushed Lu Bingbing away and turned in an attempt to head back to the lounge. In all honesty, a bullet wound wasn't much to the current Qin Feng. He was going to the lounge to take out the bullet and buy and apply a bottle of elementary gold sore medicine, and then he would be fine. Also, Qin Feng broke through 2 of his limits and gained 3,000 hedonist points. As long as he spent the points, he could become a rank 5 hedonist mortal. Not only would he gain 3 free lottery chances, he would also activate the system's wuxia interface. Qin Feng was really looking forward to it. Qin Feng, I've seen your wound. You can't just leave. Also, you put weight on your leg after getting shot, aggravating the injury. Now, you've lost too much blood. If we don't get you to the hospital for treatment now, you're really going to be in trouble. Lu Bingbing rushed up and grabbed Qin Feng. She didn't know why she suddenly became so stubborn. Director Lu, let me go. I can handle this wound. Plus, if my leg is really crippled and the wound became ruptured, inflamed, or infected, shouldn't you be secretly happy? Why do you look worried about me? Oh, Director Lu, I'm not seeing things, am I? Why are your eyes red? Are you crying? Don't tell me you've fallen for this young master? Qin Feng really didn't want to go to the hospital. He was worried that the Golden Assassin crew would set an ambush for him. If he met the abnormal assassins again in the hospital, Qin Feng wouldn't be able to escape even if he wanted to. He was intentionally poking fun at Lu Bingbing to make her angry so she'd leave. However, not only did Lu Bingbing stay, she looked like she was set on hanging on to Qin Feng today. Stinking brat, you better war out. If you keep saying crazy things, I might just kick you again. Whose eyes are red and who's crying for you? You must be dreaming. Lu Bingbing gave Qin Feng a cold glare. She didn't know what she was feeling at the moment. Though she hated Qin Feng, she got worried when she saw such a severe gunshot wound on his thigh. However, her eyes weren't red and she didn't cry. Qin Feng only made that up to make her mad. Are you getting into the ambulance with me or not? I'm not. You're in this state and you're still arguing with me? Is there something wrong with your brain? Do you not want your leg anymore? Lu Bingbing was furious. I'm begging you, Director Lu, to let me go because I want my leg. I'll deal with it myself. Qin Feng was beyond helpless. All the women he saw today were a bit off. Get into the ambulance with me. If I'm not taking you to the hospital, I'll extract the bullet for you in the ambulance. Lu Bingbing wondered what was wrong with her and why she was so insistent regarding Qin Feng's injury. However, she wouldn't be able to rest if she didn't personally see the bullet come out of Qin Feng's thigh or personally hear that Qin Feng's life wasn't in danger. Qin Feng knew that once Lu Bingbing set her mind to something, 10 bulls couldn't pull her away from her goal. Thus, he could only board the ambulance with her. Since 10 policemen with real and loaded guns were nearby standing guard, Qin Feng wasn't afraid of the Golden Assassin crew members heading over. The 2 of them got into the ambulance, and Lu Bingbing locked the door. Qin Feng lay on the strayer. There was a first aid kit in the vehicle. Director Lu, you're not going to do it personally, are you? Qin Feng's face darkened as he weighed Lu Bingbing open the medical kit and pull out forceps, gauze, and various other items. Shut up. Your mother learned first aid at the police academy. Removing bullets was one of the courses. My skills were #1 in the entire squad. So many people begged for my assistance, but I didn't help them, so you should be happy. Lu Bingbing glared at Qin Feng and lay out everything she needed by Qin Feng's leg. Lu Bingbing's words had several possible meanings, and Qin Feng's thoughts went astray when he heard them. He looked at Lu Bingbing with a smile. Then when you give the handjob later, Director Lu, be more gentle. You can move quickly, though. Your lily-white hands aren't bad, so your skills are sure to be exciting. Chapter 291. Chapter 291. It was crazy to remove a bullet. Lu Bingbing didn't have a vulgar mind like Qin Feng, so she was slightly stunned when she heard what Qin Feng had said. What do you mean by handjob? I'm just removing the bullet in your leg. Why do I need to do a handjob for you? And I'm fast at removing bullets, as long as keep your mouth shut. Now, take your pants off. Lu Bingbing gave Qin Feng a glacial stare as her delicate face blushed all of a sudden. Qin Feng was shot at the thigh area. It would be easier to remove the bullet if he took his trousers off. However, Lu Bingbing refused to help Qin Feng out of them. She was born aloof and cold. She never helped any guy take off his pants. She'd rather be killed than do this kind of thing. "Io, Director Lu, my thigh suddenly feels numb. Do you think I'll lost my leg? I lost too much blood just now and I feel dizzy at the moment. I can't even lift my arms, let alone take off my pants. Director Lu, I think it's better send me back to Qin Manor. We've a doctor there. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair." Qin Feng turned vulgar again. Every time he became vulgar was the time he displayed his splendid acting skills. He still remembered he had a mission in the system regarding Lu Bingbing. Make this hot-tempered lass submit to him entirely. Qin Feng had put much effort in training her a few times before, and the results were good. At least Lu Bingbing wouldn't try to kill him now, like she had the first time she met him. Since her attitude toward him had changed imperceptibly after a few training sessions, of course Qin Feng had to double up on his efforts. "Stop acting, you stinking brat. You were as lively as a dragon just now when you got on the ambulance, and now you say you don't have any energy left? Do you think I'm dumb enough to fall into your crafty plot? I won't help you to take off your trousers, so put that in your pipe and smoke it." Lu Bingbing stared warily at Qin Feng, her delicate face blushing red. "Director Lu, I was shot. Do you think I'm still in a mood to cheat you? Maybe it's because your kick just now worsened my wound. Anyway, I now can't feel my leg and I'm tired and wobbly. Please take me back to Qin Manor. I don't want you to help me remove the bullet anyway." As Qin Feng spoke, he showed a pained expression to Lu Bingbing. Lu Bingbing dropped her guard slightly. When she decided that the kick she delivered to Qin Feng was indeed a little harsh, she then asked herself, "Did I really injure him?" Lu Bingbing became solemn. She pinched Qin Feng's tender thigh as hard as she could and asked, "Qin Feng, do you feel anything now?" Qin Feng howled inside his heart. Jesus Christ, why is this Lu Bingbing even stronger than those muscle men? She almost pinched a piece of meat from my thigh. If it wasn't for Qin Feng's high pain tolerance, he would have wept in pain already. "No, I don't feel anything," said Qin Feng through clenched teeth, holding his breath. Lu Bingbing became grave. Seems like he really can't feel his own leg. If we don't get the bullet out, this little brat might lose his leg forever. Director Lu, don't be so hard on yourself. I really appreciate your help, but please take me back to Qin Manor. Qin Feng gazed with deep feeling at Lu Bingbing. "Stop talking nonsense. Your mother said I'll help you remove the bullet. Lie down, little brat. If you dare to move so much as an inch, your mother will crush you." Lu Bingbing's countenance sank all of a sudden. As she spoke, she extended her hand to undo Qin Feng's belt. Her hands were as pure as lush green jade, slender and fine. They rested on Qin Feng's belt for a long time and still couldn't undo it. It was something that could be done within a few seconds, but it took more than a minute for Lu Bingbing. Beads of sweat started to form on her forehead. The small, enclosed ambulance space was instantly filled with the fragrance of Lu Bingbing's body. Kachak! Lu Bingbing finally undid Qin Feng's belt with a crisp snap. Her fine and tender hands were trembling slightly. Besides her own belt, when had she helped others undo their belts? Lu Bingbing's ears reddened once she thought of it. Swoosh! Lu Bingbing pulled off Qin Feng's belt in one go and threw it aside. After that, she quickly unbuttoned his pants. When her jade hand fell on the zipper, she stopped for a while. After she mustered enough courage, she then gritted her teeth and pulled it downward. Qin Feng's trousers were damp with his blood and stuck to his thigh and wound. Lu Bingbing grew colder and more serious. She slowly pulled his trousers downward, trying to avoid rubbing his wound. The bright red trousers were slowly taken off by Lu Bingbing. Qin Feng lay in front of Lu Bingbing in only his boxer briefs. His boxer briefs were stained with blood. The mouth of the wound gaped open, revealing gleaming white bone. Lu Bingbing initially thought she'd be very awkward after she took off Qin Feng's trousers. However, when she saw Qin Feng's wound, her eyes reddened and she almost cried. "Qin Feng, bite this white cloth. It'll be very painful later." I'll try my best to remove the bullet fast. Please hold on for a bit. Lu Bingbing reminded Qin Feng gently. This was the first time Qin Feng saw such a gentle side to this lass. Forceps, alcohol, gauze, and steel tray. All the implements were neatly placed on the steel tray. Lu Bingbing took the forceps and sanitized it with an alcohol lamp. After she'd done her preparations, she then bent over Qin Feng's legs and carefully extracted the bullet from his thigh. This scene was too ambiguous. Qin Feng lay on the strayer, Lu Bingbing bent over his legs. People who didn't know better might think they were doing something they shouldn't. Ow! Lu Bingbing used the forceps and stabbed into Qin Feng's flesh. This was an unbearable pain that no one could withstand. Normally, removing a bullet required general anesthesia, or at least, local anesthesia. But now Qin Feng hadn't taken anything, so he could feel the pain full well. When the icy cold forceps stabbed into his flesh, he couldn't hold back a loud cry. As he shouted, both of his hands instinctively grabbed something in front of him. He then squeezed hard on that thing. He didn't know what that was, but the texture was very good and made him forget the pain in his thigh. Ah, Qin Feng, what are you doing? Get your dirty paws off me now. A second before, Lu Bingbing had been feeling guilty for hurting Qin Feng, and the next second, she felt a sharp pain from her neckline. She was so angry that she almost gave this little brat a kick and laid waste to him. I'm sorry. It was too painful. Qin Feng quickly released his hands and looked at Lu Bingbing awkwardly. Lu Bingbing took a few deep breaths to cool herself down. She stared icily at Qin Feng and then resumed her extraction of the bullet. Just now, Lu Bingbing's forceps had already been inside his wound and almost reached the bullet. Frightened by Qin Feng's sudden ambush, she'd hastily pulled the forceps out without clamping tightly on the bullet. And now, she had to do it all over again. When the forceps stabbed into his flesh, Qin Feng felt the pain and started to reach for something again. Ow! This time, Qin Feng didn't have the guts to grab Lu Bingbing's neckline. He shifted targets and grabbed firmly at Lu Bingbing's calves. Lu Bingbing furrowed her eyebrows slightly, but in the end, she paid no heed to Qin Feng's movement and concentrated on removing the bullet. The forceps thrusted in and out of his wound. That feeling was so painful that his body trembled. Both of his hands moved all the way from Lu Bingbing's calves to her thighs and continued to move into a deeper place. However, his attempt was blocked by Lu Bingbing as she tightly clamped her legs. In the end, Qin Feng could only withdraw his hands and cling tightly to Lu Bingbing's booty. Ow ow! Ow ow ow! Every time Qin Feng yelped in pain, both of his hands would instinctively squeeze harder on Lu Bingbing's booty. A myriad of expressions flashed across Lu Bingbing's face. Her delicate and cold face was now entirely flushed, as red as a ripened tomato, and water seemed to be dripping from it. However, she didn't stop her hands. Instead, she tried very hard to maintain her composure and keep herself focused. When the forceps reached inside the wound, she clamped on that damn bullet and quickly pulled it out, successfully removing it. Dang! The bullet fell on the steel tray with a crisp sound. Weak and with all her energy spent, Lu Bingbing's body quivered and fell to the floor. She felt weak because her booty was the most sensitive part of her body. So when Qin Feng squeezed it, she was so grieved that she wished she was dead. Now she sat on the floor, champed with rage, and wished to treat Qin Feng to a feast of punches. However, she couldn't bear to do it. You shameless pervert. Do you have any idea what you're doing? As soon as Lu Bingbing sat down, her gaze fell on a weird object that she'd never noticed before. Lu Bingbing's neck reddened in an instant. However, her eyes were filled with chilly, murderous intent. You bastard. How dare a little brat like you have such a barbarous thought when your mother painstakingly helped you to remove the bullet? Your mother will fucking snap that thing into. Lu Bingbing was mad as hell. This Qin Feng was too arrogant, vulgar, and shameless. She furiously grabbed a scalpel and rushed to Qin Feng's side, wanting to stab him. Qin Feng's face was distorted with fear. As he opened his mouth to stop Lu Bingbing, the ambulance door suddenly opened. I remember the door wasn't locked. Who locked it? Fast, fast, fast. Get the casualty loaded. He's lost too much blood. He'll be in great danger if we're too late. The door was opened from outside, and the sounds of rain and wind drifted over. At the door stood 2 doctors in white coats and 2 nurses, and another 2 policemen who were helping the doctors in carrying the stretcher. The group of people was carrying a casualty and getting on the ambulance. When they saw the sight in the ambulance, all of them held their breath, stunned in place. Doctors and nurses were flabbergasted. They couldn't fathom why there was a man and a woman in an ambulance. And most importantly, they were doing something embarrassing. Those 2 policemen were Lu Bingbing's subordinates. The shocking sight robbed them of speech. When they saw their director Lu bend over a man with her head apparently buried in the man's crow, they then thought in their hearts, "This is our director Lu, the coolest and proudest in our bureau. It turns out she's this kind of woman. What are you guys looking at? Don't you guys have anything else to do? Hurry up and rescue the other casualties. And if anyone dares to mention anything they saw today to other people, be prepared to leave our bureau." Bang! The door was shut by Lu Bingbing's kick. After she took care of her subordinates, she then turned her head and stared at Qin Feng with a pair of reddened eyes. She released a dense killing aura throughout her body. Qin Feng was so scared that his little heart was about to explode. He knew howling winds and torrential rains were coming, but he really hadn't done anything. Bang, bang, bang. Ow, ow, ow. The doctors, nurses, and policemen were still dazed outside the door. They could only hear the sound of vigorous movements and Qin Feng's cries constantly drifting over from inside the ambulance. The cries were screaming in Qin Feng's and Lu Bingbing's ears, but they became something else to the people outside the ambulance. All of them looked at one another with surprise and amazed expressions on their faces. The 2 little nurses were flushed with shyness. They couldn't imagine what types of positions the 2 people inside were using for combating. Chapter 292. Chapter 292. I killed him. Bang! After a full 10 minutes of fighting, the ambulance doors opened again, and Lu Bingbing exited the vehicle with a cold expression. When Qin Feng got out of the vehicle, a procession of bodyguards in black and 3 beauties rushed over. "Qin Feng, are you all right? I knew you'd be all right. I was scared to death." Qin Feng, what happened to your leg? Is it okay? Why don't we go to the hospital?" "Qin Feng, we're don't see a cold." The 3 beauties that suddenly rushed over were Su Ruoro, Liu Chan, and Rao Sherman. These 3 women were all outstandingly attractive, and each had different auras and personalities. Once each of the women saw Qin Feng, they surrounded him excitedly. Su Ruoro and Liu Chan anxiously took one of Qin Feng's arms each, while Rao Sherman hugged Qin Feng. When the doctors, nurses, and police saw this scene, they were so shocked that their eyes almost popped out of their skulls. In particular, the 2 subordinates that came with Lu Bingbing's side and wondered what kind of person Qin Feng was to have such luck with the ladies. Director Lu was exceptionally unlike herself today. She actually hid in a vehicle with Qin Feng and did it with him, and after it was over, she reinstated her usual cold and proud expression. And now that she saw 3 women surrounding Qin Feng, she actually wasn't mad. Based on her explosive temper, it would make more sense for her to blast the 3 women's heads off. Qin Feng just texted Su Ruoro while he was in the ambulance, so the 3 women rushed over with Qin Manor bodyguards. Qin Feng quickly changed into a new suit. There was no way he'd stand in front of everyone in his underwear. "All right, let's go back to the lounge. Is Chairman Qin all right?" Qin Feng held Su Ruoro and Liu Chun as they walked toward the lounge. Rao Sherman also quickly followed. "Qin Feng, Chairman Qin is in the lounge right now. Everyone is fine. A few audience members were trampled and got hurt during the evacuation, but they've all been taken to the hospital for treatment. The sudden shooting incident has been settled by the police, and there are no deaths so far." Su Ruoro explained the situation to Qin Feng. The 4 of them walked under the protection of 4 bodyguards in black, and they quickly arrived at the lounge. "Qin Feng, are you all right? You've scared your duh." Qin Huang immediately rushed up to Qin Feng and grabbed him when he saw that his son was all right. Qin Feng cut his father off, yelling, "Chairman Qin, I've worried you. I'm all right. I just so happened to be close to Rao Sherman, so I had the opportunity to rush on stage and save her. Rao Sherman is such a beautiful, kind, and famous celebrity that anyone in my position would have done the same thing and did all they could to save her. Chairman Sheen, there's no need to praise me in particular. And don't give me a reward. That would dishonor my actions. How could Qin Huang not know what his son was thinking? Qin Feng was afraid of revealing his identity to the three beauties. Qin Huang had been too worried about Qin Feng's safety, so he almost slipped up. At this time, he regained his usual imposing expression and looked indifferently at Qin Feng. Since you were injured on the job, I was originally going to give you a week off to recover. I've also arranged for Miss Ruoro to have the week off with you as well, so she can take care of you. Seeing that you don't need these rewards, it seems that I've dishonored you. Haha, Chairman Qin is a man of his word. Since this is the case, then I, Qin Feng, will follow your arrangements, said Qin Feng with a chuckle. It's too late. Qin Huang glared at Qin Feng again. Qin Feng had changed into a new suit, and Qin Huang couldn't see the gunshot wound on his leg. Instead, he saw that Qin Feng was filled with life and energy, so he thought Qin Feng was completely fine. He huffed and led his bodyguards out of the lounge to deal with the aftermath of the situation. Once Qin Huang left, the atmosphere in the lounge became much more relaxed. Everyone had been a bit fearful with the chairman present. Qin Feng, where did you go at first? You scared me to death. Also, what happened to your leg? Did you scrape it when you were holding up the metal frame for little sister Sherman earlier? Do you need to get it checked out at the hospital? The three women were really worried about Qin Feng, but only Su Ruoro expressed her worry completely. She knew Qin Feng was really perverted, so she intentionally tucked her body into Qin Feng's embrace to make him happy. She also lightly caressed the wound on Qin Feng's thigh. Her lovely clear eyes were teary. Qin Feng comfortingly patted Su Ruoro's head. He smiled and said, I'm fine. It was just a screw. All that matters is that you three beauties are all right. Qin Feng comforted Su Ruoro, then looked at Rao Sherman with seriousness and said, That's right. The assassins weren't after you. I think it has something to do with Royal Group. On behalf of Chairman Qin and Royal Group, I sincerely apologize for getting you mixed up in this conflict because of our company. And you don't need to be afraid in the future. Just forget everything that happened today. Rao Sherman looked at Qin Feng and said nothing. She felt bad knowing that Qin Feng injured his leg to save her. She didn't blame any specific person or the entire royal group for what happened. Though she was very famous and had a very strong power backing her, she was still kind and understood the idea of repaying kindness. Out of gratitude, and not out of enmity, she would never forget what happened today. That's because Rao Sherman would never forget that Qin Feng stood out during her time of need, nor could she forget how he used his strong and healthy body to hold up that safe and warm sky. She gave her first kiss to Qin Feng today, and she also gave him her hug. In the past 8 years, she had never felt this touched or agitated, and she felt agitated again because of Qin Feng. How could she forget what happened today? Not only would she not forget it, she would remember it for the rest of her life. It would be a lovely, unforgettable memory like that with the youth by Lotus Lake. Qin Feng and the three women stayed in the lounge and waited until the police were mostly done dealing with the situation before going out. Once they exited, Qin Feng saw Lu Bingbing standing by the doorway. Qin Feng, walk with me for a bit. Lu Bingbing regained her icy expression once more, as if the ambiguous situation in the ambulance earlier never happened. Ruoro, take Sherman and Yuchon and Chairman Qin's car back to Qin Manor first. I'll speak with Director Lu, then head back on my own. Qin Feng patted Su Ruoro's lovely hair. The three women looked at Qin Feng like they didn't want to leave him. In the end, under the protection of the bodyguards, they left first. You really are loose. Wow. If you're too loose, your ass will break. Lu Bingbing crossed her arms in front of her chest and waved the three women leave. Then, she glared at Qin Feng. After yelling at Qin Feng, Lu Bingbing turned and boarded a police car. Qin Feng followed and sat in the front passenger seat. Tell me, did the assassins come for you? Who are they? Lu Bingbing and Qin Feng were the only two in the car, and the windows were sealed. Lu Bingbing's body fragrance wafted through the car. I don't know, Director Lu. Maybe the assassins were targeting Royal Group. After all, Royal Group's business is becoming larger and larger. Someone must be secretly jealous and wanted to cause some trouble. Qin Feng shrugged with an expression that implied he knew nothing about the situation. Qin Feng, you're still pretending? You think I'm an idiot? Lu Bingbing suddenly turned her head. Her beautiful eyes gleamed with severity. During this sudden incident, besides you who got shot in the leg, no one else was injured. Do you think I didn't notice? Then that could only mean that they did their research on Royal Group, knew that I was Chairman Qin's only son, and wanted to abduct me to threaten Royal Group. In the end, they only injured me and weren't able to capture me because Director Lu brought people over and scared them away. Qin Feng immediately laughed and said to Lu Bingbing, "Thank you, Director Lu. If not for you, I might have been abducted by those despicable criminals and put in some dark and damp underground room. You know that I lead the life of a rich young master, and I'm the most afraid of underground rooms devoid of light, stinking of mold, with rats scurrying about." Qin Feng. Lu Bingbing angrily cut Qin Feng off. The pent-up anger in her chest caused it to rise up high, and Qin Feng wanted to look, but he didn't dare do so. Director Lu, don't be angry. If women get angry a lot, they get older faster. That's right. I heard that Lancome recently put out a new whitening product that's really good. I happen to have a friend in France. I'll have him send some quality products over. If a natural beauty like Director Lu uses it. Lu Bingbing ignored Qin Feng's words and suddenly blurted out, "Qin Feng, one of the assassins was found in the garden behind Villa 5. He was split in half by someone. Do you know who did it?" Qin Feng immediately closed his mouth. His expression changed slightly, and he swayed to a comfortable posture as he leaned into the seat. He said casually, "I killed him. I used this blade and sliced him in two." A long sword that glowed orange suddenly appeared in Qin Feng's hand, scaring Lu Bingbing. What made her even more shocked was the fact that Qin Feng willingly confessed to murder. "You're a martial artist?" Lu Bingbing furrowed her shapely eyebrows as she looked at the treasured sword in Qin Feng's hand. "You know about martial artists?" Qin Feng asked back and furrowed his eyebrows as well. Lu Bingbing's expression shifted several times before it reverted back to her usually cold one. "That's not important. You killed someone, and you even confessed in front of me. I won't let you off." Lu Bingbing's expression was staunch. Disappointment flashed through her eyes as she said, "Qin Feng, right now, you have to either kill me to hide that you murdered someone, or let me arrest you for murder. Either way, I can't beat you in a fight. If you're going to do it, hurry up." Lu Bingbing found a comfortable position, slouched into her seat, shut her eyes, and waited for Qin Feng to act. She didn't understand why Qin Feng confessed so easily to killing someone this time. In the past, he killed Hao Yun and Yuan Xiong, but he refused to admit it. Did he want to kill her as well? So she was nothing in his heart. This was Lu Bingbing's first time feeling so conflicted and helpless. She was righteous and upstanding. In her world, what was right, and what was wrong. The world only had two kinds of people, good and bad. She would never let a bad person off, even if they were her friend or relative. Since she knew Qin Feng killed someone, she knew she wouldn't let Qin Feng off. However, she didn't want to arrest Qin Feng. She even wished that he would end her with a slice and resolve all her worries. This change in mentality was very subtle. Even Lu Bingbing wasn't able to react. "Director Lu, I won't kill you. You're so beautiful and righteous. How could I?" Qin Feng laughed. Lu Bingbing had shut her eyes and sat in the seat. Qin Feng admired her lovely body. Her profile was gorgeous and filled with moral integrity. Her nose was tall and alluring. Her chest was very perky, and she had a bewhying and perky behind. She was such a sexy and proud beauty. Though Qin Feng knew Lu Bingbing and had a quest regarding her, even if it was his first time seeing her, he couldn't kill such a beauty. "Then cut the crap and come with me to the police station and wait to die." Lu Bingbing sighed internally. This was Qin Feng's decision. She already gave him an opportunity to escape. She opened her alluring eyes and found that the treasured sword in Qin Feng's hand was gone. Lu Bingbing gritted her teeth and started the car. She sped toward the North District Subbureau. Chapter 293. Chapter 293. If there is a first time, there is a second time. Qin Feng closed his eyes and rested in the passenger seat along the way. Lu Bingbing, on the other hand, focused on driving. Neither of them spoke. The atmosphere was below zero, as if the air inside the car would freeze at any moment. Screech. The car arrived at the North District Subbureau. However, Lu Bingbing pulled the emergency brake and stopped the car in front of the bureau's gate. Qin Feng, who are those assassins? Asked Lu Bingbing as she looked at Qin Feng. Her face was frosty as a flame of fury was rising in her heart. She admitted she couldn't send Qin Feng to the jail because she knew Qin Feng would never come out again. Qin Feng had confessed he was the killer. Even with the powerful Qin family backing him, he wouldn't be able to turn the situation around. There were two assassins who tried to kill me. One was the black person you guys found. The other was a Chinese brawler monk that ran away. Qin Feng opened his eyes and sighed slightly. As for who they are, I can't tell you. Qin Feng, can you please not fuck around now? Your mother's patience is limited, and I will not break my bottom line for the third time. Lu Bingbing was enraged. She was very mad at Qin Feng's attitude. She hadn't even been this angry the first time she met this rascal. She couldn't fathom why she was so mad. Qin Feng followed her obediently. He didn't speak along the way or act like a vulgar person or talk glibly. He admitted his guilt proactively and accompanied her to the bureau. Before, Lu Bingbing had dreamed she could beat Qin Feng into becoming like this. But when Qin Feng really became like this, Lu Bingbing wished he would act shamelessly in front of her again and tell her everything was just a joke. Director Lu, I've come with you back to the bureau. Can you stop scolding me? You aren't young anymore, you know? You're too hot-tempered and always shout at people once you open your mouth. Who'd still dare to be your boyfriend? Qin Feng looked at Lu Bingbing, smiling. Your mother wants to scold people, and I like to scold people very much. You better tell me the truth. I'm asking you for one last time. Did you kill the man? Lu Bingbing stomped her feet in fury. Stop asking anymore. I'm the one who killed the man. I won't tell you their identity. This is because they are too powerful. So powerful that I could only run away from them with my current power. Qin Feng suddenly became serious and gazed gently at Lu Bingbing. I don't want to involve you in this. This is my own problem. If you meddle in it, I'm afraid I might bring you down. Lu Bingbing was stunned. Her pair of clear eyes gazed fixedly at Qin Feng. The reason she was so angry and gave Qin Feng chances to justify himself again and again was because, in her heart, she didn't wish Qin Feng to be arrested. She didn't want him to confess that he was the killer. Lu Bingbing had deliberately stopped the car at the gate of the North District Subbureau because she was waiting for Qin Feng. She was waiting for a pretext that could convince her to release him. Now, the pretext had come. It was a very simple sentence. Because I don't want to get you into the trouble? Qin Feng, just tell me, who are they? I promise I won't let a third party know their true identity, on my honor. Asked Lu Bingbing in a soft tone, shedding her glacial aura. Director Lu, it's not that I don't trust you. It's just that you might be in great danger if I tell you who they are. This is the reason why I refuse to tell you their identity. Director Lu, please send me to the jail. I know you're an upright and uncorrupted person. You've never shielded or connived with a criminal before, and you're actually struggling in your heart now. After all, we've known each other for just a mere 2 months. Maybe you've been guarding against me, treating me like an enemy, but in my eyes, you're already one of my friends. Qin Feng spoke sincerely and earnestly. Tears might even fall from his own eyes. Qin Feng realized his acting skill had evolved, to the point that even he himself couldn't distinguish between truth and fiction. When he learned from Lu Bingbing that the police had found silver number 20 SIX's corpse, he knew he didn't need to play the fool or resist anymore. This was because Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2 villas were very well monitored with highly advanced surveillance equipment that had no dead angle. Qin Feng's fight in the back garden must have been recorded, and the police would know the truth once they viewed the video. So this time Qin Feng didn't act shamelessly and play the fool like he usually did. He just admitted his guilt openly. He was betting on Lu Bingbing's feelings for him. And now, it looked like he'd bet right. Qin Feng, are those assassins still lurking around? Lu Bingbing cautiously looked around. I'm not sure either. That's why I can't tell Director Lu who they are. I'm afraid they might have put a bug or tracker on me. If they knew you're digging out their identity, you'd be in trouble, Qin Feng said with a serious demeanor. Lu Bingbing's countenance chilled slightly. She then pushed a button in her car. She waited for 10 seconds, then said, I've activated a jamming device in the car. We're now isolated from outside. No signal can come in or go out. So you may speak now. I promise I'll keep our conversation in the car a secret in my heart, and I won't tell anybody when we get down from the car. Qin Feng sighed heavily. With a difficult look, he hesitated for a long time and then began to talk slowly. Director Lu, have you ever heard of the Golden Assassin Crew? Golden Assassin Crew? Wide-eyed, Lu Bingbing stared fixedly at Qin Feng. She was really frightened. She hadn't imagined that Qin Feng offended that group of people. You know about the Golden Assassin Crew? Can you tell me more about them? Qin Feng was agitated and grabbed Lu Bingbing's hands tightly. Lu Bingbing's hands were clear as ice and elegant as jade, tender and slender. They felt boneless to Qin Feng when he held them in his own. Stinking brat, get your hands off me. Lu Bingbing glared at Qin Feng. When Qin Feng released her hands, her countenance became grave and she said, The Golden Assassin Crew is based in the provincial capital, but no one knows the exact location. However, according to the underworld, there are no jobs that the Golden Assassin Crew can't complete once they make their move. They were formed more than 20 years ago and completed more than 10,000 jobs without fail. They charged in a very particular way, gold. They don't accept any other form of payment. They're divided into 4 levels: Golden Group, Silver Group, Bronze Group, and Winter Iron Group. The higher the level, the stronger the assassin. Their superior is said to be a highly skilled hermit. They call him the Golden Hermit. Nobody has ever seen him before. The men who have seen him are either dead or serve under him loyally. Lu Bingbing revealed a lot of information about the Golden Assassin Crew. With a suspicious look, Qin Feng then asked, How come you know so much about them? Lu Bingbing sighed lightly and replied, Before I came to Acropolis City, I was a police officer in the provincial capital. During that time, I plunged myself entirely into demolishing this wicked killer organization. However, they are too powerful. Their killers are widely distributed all over China. They even extended their power overseas. After I investigated the group for a short period, my family scolded me harshly. And because of that incident, I was dispatched to Acropolis City by my family and became the director of the North District Subbureau. Qin Feng had long known that Lu Bingbing's family was powerful. However, this was a private issue and Qin Feng wasn't dumb enough to ask Lu Bingbing if she didn't want to speak of it. Even Lu Bingbing's family feared the Golden Assassin Crew. They detached her from the family base, sending her to Acropolis City once they learned that Lu Bingbing was investigating that group. Qin Feng was very clear of the relationships involved in this incident. It's so much trouble messing with a group like this, Qin Feng lamented. By the way, why are they targeting you? Lu Bingbing was worried as well. According to the underworld, a man targeted by the Golden Assassin Crew was as good as dead. The elder of the Hao family used all his family properties and hired an assassin from the Golden Assassin Crew to kill me. I killed the first 2 assassins. This was the second time. Since Qin Feng had said this much to Lu Bingbing, he thought that it wouldn't be a problem to tell her the whole story. After listening to what Qin Feng said, Lu Bingbing gasped, This was the second time you were ambushed by people from the Golden Assassin Crew? You even killed 3 of them? Why not? They were trying to kill me. They didn't have enough strength, so they got what they deserved, Qin Feng replied casually. Lu Bingbing still hadn't recovered from the shock. She'd heard of the Golden Assassin Crew's legend of indomitability long ago. They'd never had a case where they failed twice on a mission, but Qin Feng broke their perfect record. He even killed 3 of their assassins. This time, Qin Feng had totally made an enemy of the Golden Assassin crew. Qin Feng, you better be careful next time. I'm certain the Golden Assassin crew will go wild and try to get revenge on you. Not even I can help you counter the attack from this mysterious, obscure organization. I don't even know where to CA them. You killed a person this time, but since he's an international fugitive, I'll help you resolve the situation. You're injured. You'd better go home and rest. Lu Bingbing had made herself clear. She would let Qin Feng off this time. She not only released him, she even took the initiative to help him settle the aftermath. Well, thank you, Director Lu. Qin Feng had a stern face, but actually he was as happy as a lark inside his heart. His acting successfully hoodwinked Lu Bingbing into helping him square things with the police. Hold on. Lu Bingbing stopped Qin Feng as he was getting off the car. The 4 human traffickers that we caught at the slum still haven't given up their backer. However, according to my experience, I'm certain that they're indeed part of the criminal gang. You've performed exceptionally well in this case. For now, I'll hold them for a couple of days, first to sniff out the force behind them and their base's location, and then we'll sneak into their base together and capture them all in one go. I'll give you the credit afterward. Forget about the credit. It's my pleasure to help Director Lu in demolishing this human trafficking group, replied Qin Feng as he smiled at her. Okay, I'll contact you afterward. Anyway, you better behave yourself, you little brat. If you dare to kill or burn again, I'll never go easy on you. Lu Bingbing closed the door furiously and drove her car into the bureau. Qin Feng stood in his original place and looked after Lu Bingbing. The corner of his mouth quirked slightly as he murmured, if there is a first time, then there is a second time and a third time. Qin Feng flagged down a taxi and returned to Qin Manor. When he reached the gate of Qin Manor, Uncle Fu was already there waiting for him. Young Master Qin. Uncle Fu walked toward Qin Feng and inspected him thoroughly. With a bright light in his eyes, he said, Congratulations, young Master Qin, on your breakthrough. With a smile on his face, Qin Feng patted Uncle Fu's shoulder. Both of them then got in the car. Uncle Fu, are my dad and Ruoro all right? Qin Feng sat in the back seat and gazed at the villas and green fields of Qin Manor. The 3 Misses and Chairman Qin are all right. They're waiting for your return at home, said Uncle Fu as he focused on driving. Normally, he followed Qin Feng's and Qin Huang's orders without question. However, this time, he suddenly opened his mouth when the car was about to arrive at the main building. Young Master Qin, this time is the Golden Assassin crew as well? Uncle Fu asked with a hint of coldness in his tone. Looks like my dad has told you. Last time, after Chairman Qin came back from his abduction, he told me to take good care of your safety in the future. Uncle Fu sighed lightly. Today I was tasked with Chairman Qin's safety and neglected young Master Qin. This is a dereliction of my duty. Uncle Fu, it's not your fault. I'm okay as long as my dad is fine. Qin Feng pondered for a while and asked, is the Golden Assassin crew that powerful? Chapter 294. Chapter 294 more amazing than you could imagine. Wilbu. When Qin Feng killed Bronze number 5 and 8, he hadn't cared much about the Golden Assassin crew. He hadn't realized how large and powerful it was. However, today's sudden ambush set alarm bells ringing. This crew had 4 levels: Gold Group, Silver Group, Bronze Group, and Winter Iron Group. The crew had only sent over assassins from the Bronze and Silver groups, but their abilities couldn't be belittled. These last 2 assassination attempts made Qin Feng cautious. He wondered if he would be able to escape or kill his opponent the next time, if they sent the leader of the Silver Group or experts from the Gold Group. The crew had tremendous power, and their whereabouts were unknown. They even had the guts to shoot and kill people in broad daylight. They had countless martial artists with unordinary powers. They only had their targets and goals in mind. In order to complete their assignments, they did whatever it took and would rather die than fail. Now that this group had their eyes on him, Qin Feng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Uncle Fu hesitated for a long while and thought of a lot of different phrases, but he could only say two words: really amazing. How amazing! Qin Feng raised his brows. His heart sank even more. Qin Feng had very little knowledge of Uncle Fu's background, but he knew that the main reason Acropolis's Qin Manor was still standing and the Qin family was dominant among the four most prominent families in Acropolis and remained intact time and time again was Uncle Fu. Uncle Fu was like Qin Manor's strongest fortification. If the enemy couldn't break through this protective barrier, how could they attack the inner parts of Qin Manor to harm its muscles and bones? Qin Feng hadn't known how to do martial arts in the past, and even less about the tiers of martial artists. However, ever since he acquired the Hedonist sovereign system, his abilities improved by leaps and bounds, and he became a genius dual cultivator in internal and external techniques. Among his peers in the martial communities of Acropolis, or even the capital, how many could get to the same level as Qin Feng? However, when facing Uncle Fu, he could never grasp the man's true abilities. He knew that every time he broke through his limits, he thought he'd qualify to fight Uncle Fu. However, he found that Uncle Fu seemed to have broken through as well. Uncle Fu's abilities were unfathomable. If even a profound expert like this talked about the Golden Assassin crew with such a conflicted expression, how could Qin Feng not feel pressured? How could he not be worried? They're more amazing than you could imagine. Uncle Fu stopped the car at the foot of the main building. He didn't hurry to open Qin Feng's door like he usually did. He sighed slightly and said, "The Golden Assassin crew was formed 21 years ago, and they faced countless setbacks but never fell. On the contrary, they were renewed after being in danger time and time again. 21 years ago, the country and various martial groups formed an alliance to destroy the Golden Assassin crew. At the time, they couldn't suppress them completely. Now, 20 years have passed in a flash, and even I can't begin to guess at their power. All in all, be more careful." Uncle Fu seemed immersed in history, but he quickly came to, got out of the car, and opened the door for Qin Feng. "Young Master Qin, we're home." "Thank you, Uncle Fu. You can go do what you need to." Qin Feng nodded at Uncle Fu, then walked into the main building of Qin Manor alone. Once he walked into the first-floor parlor, he saw the group of worried people sitting on the sofa. When they saw Qin Feng walk in, all their faces lit up, and the beauties excitedly rushed up to him. "Qin Feng, are you all right? It's about time you returned." Su Ruoro was the first to rush up to him. Not caring that there were others weighing, she hugged Qin Feng's arm like her life depended on it. Liu Chan and Rao Sherman stood to the side. When they saw that Qin Feng was fine, they were relieved. "Qin Feng, you worried us to death." A mature woman in a silk gray suit walked up to them. This was Han Ying, who had just returned from Jincheng City after handling some personal matters. "Big Sis Ying is back. Are your family matters taken care of? Why do you look more haggard than before?" Qin Feng hugged Su Ruoro lightly and greeted Han Ying. The fatigue in Han Ying's eyes disappeared in a flash. She eked out a slight smile and said, "The family matters are resolved. I've been busy dealing with family matters recently, so I probably look tired because I haven't been well rested. Now that you're back, take a couple of days off and go back to work after you're well rested." After Qin Feng finished speaking, he remembered that he was only young Master Qin's personal attendant to these people. He had no authority to arrange Assistant Han's work schedule. Thus, he immediately smiled at Chairman Qin, who was standing behind the women. "Chairman Qin, Assistant Han usually gives her all at work, and she suddenly had something come up at home. I hope Chairman Qin can consider my suggestion and allow Assistant Han to take a couple of days off." Though Qin Huang stood emotionlessly behind the women, he was extremely worried about Qin Feng. "You've done well and saved Miss Rao Sherman during her time of need. The company was going to give you a couple of days off to get better, but you gave up the reward. Then let's use it on Assistant Han." Qin Feng spoke indifferently and turned to go upstairs after he was done speaking. Once Qin Huang left, the four women became more relaxed. They tugged Qin Feng to sit on the sofa, and they all fussed over him. They sat on the sofa and talked for a good while. After confirming that Qin Feng really was fine, Liu Chan got ready to leave first, because they were in Qin Manor. She felt that she would be an inconvenience if she stayed too long. General Manager Li, I'll have Uncle Fu take you home. Qin Feng stood when Liu Chen did. There's no need for that. I can just CA a cab back. Liu Chen refused with a bit of embarrassment. Qin Feng didn't let Liu Chen do as she wished. He walked her out. Uncle Fu just so happened to be returning from the garden, so Qin Feng told Uncle Fu to take Liu Chen home. Liu Chen had no excuse, so she eventually agreed. After getting into the bins, she couldn't help but cast multiple backward glances at Qin Feng. She felt warmed by Qin Feng's thoughtful and caring behavior. Since it was the day of the opening ceremony of Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2, everyone had begun preparing early in the morning. Also, Su Ruoro and Rao Sherman had gotten quite a fright today due to the stage suddenly collapsing and the shooting. Once they got to Qin Manor, the two women couldn't keep their eyes open. However, they withstood the fatigue and waited for Qin Feng in the parlor until he came back. Now that Qin Feng was back and seemed fine, the two women bid Qin Feng good night and went upstairs to rest. Qin Feng and Han Ying were the only ones left in the large lobby. Qin Feng casually leaned back in the sofa and rested. Han Ying sat beside him. A fragrant smell wafted through the parlor. Qin Feng, I was originally going to take an earlier flight to attend the opening ceremony today, but the flight was delayed and I didn't make it. By the time I got to Qin Manor, I heard something happened at the event. When I saw that you hadn't returned, I was frightened to death. Han Ying tilted her full body slightly, and she suddenly placed her head on Qin Feng's shoulder. She had a head of golden curly hair, and her hair was even more fragrant. Her slender, lily-white hands also curled around Qin Feng's arm. This sudden action stunned Qin Feng. He felt that his relationship with Han Ying hadn't yet progressed to this stage. Wasn't this girl trying to form a business partnership with the Qin family? Had she come to actually like him? Aren't I fine right now? What's there to worry about? Qin Feng lifted his arm and pulled Han Ying into his embrace. Qin Feng didn't believe Han Ying's feelings for him were true, but it wasn't Qin Feng's style to not take advantage of something when it was presented to him on a silver platter. This girl was learning management with his father, and she also wanted to form a business partnership with the Qin family. As long as you and Uncle Qin are all right, people are the most important. If money is lost, it can be earned back, but if a person is gone, what would I do? Han Ying hugged Qin Feng's arm even more tightly. She raised her head slightly and looked at Qin Feng with her bright, lovely, and gentle eyes. Her ethereal and charming face became flushed. Her sexy red lips opened slightly, and a sexy and mature air exuded from her entire body. Qin Feng, promise me that you'll take care of yourself. Don't let anything happen to yourself. Otherwise, I'll be so sad. The shock in Qin Feng's eyes disappeared in a flash. He almost jumped up and yelled at Han Ying. Did this woman go home during the past 5 days? Or did she secretly run to the Beijing Film Academy to learn acting? Her acting skills would soon surpass Qin Feng's. Since you like acting, then this young master will act with you. Ying, don't say any more. How could something happen to me? Nothing will happen to me because there's someone in this world that I can't let go of. If I was really gone, who would take care of you? Who would make you happy? Who would talk to you when you're sad and lonely? Ying, I really missed you. Han Ying trembled a bit. She knew that Qin Feng's words were fake, and knew that Qin Feng didn't completely believe her, but the words were spoken with such sincerity that, as a woman, Han Ying was a bit moved to hear this declaration. Ying, why don't we go to your room? Qin Feng's expression became more distant as he looked at Han Ying with half-lidded eyes. Han Ying jumped, startled. She retreated nervously and said, Qin Feng, why would you go to my room in broad daylight? Ying, we haven't seen one another in so long that I want to tell you about the fun things that happened in the company. Qin Feng had a serious expression. That's fine. I can just ask Ruoro about those things later. That's right, I brought you and Uncle Qin presents. I'll go get them now. Han Ying ran off right away. 5 minutes later, she brought back a large bag of things. The blush on her face had faded, and she was once again the powerful and vigorous queen. She sat beside Qin Feng and didn't say anything lovey-dovey. She extended her gift to Qin Feng. Qin Feng, these are all specialties of Jincheng City. Qin Manor isn't lacking in anything, so I didn't bring anything extraneous. I brought some delicacies and some presents. Don't take offense. Han Ying smiled lightly. How could I take offense with Bisising? But I'm sure the things you brought to eat aren't as tasty as you. Han Ying had just calmed down, and with one line from Qin Feng, her mood was thrown into a frenzy again. She feigned anger and glared at Qin Feng. Shut up. Bisising, what happened at home? Asked Qin Feng indifferently. Han Ying's expression suddenly changed, then it quickly became normal again. Nothing big. My mom wasn't feeling well. I went back to talk to and take care of her for a couple of days. Now she's much better. My parents are old, and it's weird and pitiful thinking about how there's no one to accompany and talk to them. Qin Feng's expression changed. Though he had a lot of questions, he still said nothing. He merely smiled and patted Han Ying's shoulder. Bisising, when you have time, go back to see your parents. As long as you mention it, my dad is sure to let you go. How could that be? I'm also a royal group employee. I can't be undisciplined. Han Ying laughed. Chapter 295. Chapter 295, Alliance of Prince Wan and Sima Tuesday. Han Ying was frightened. She was now shrouded with nervousness and fear. She'd thought her mind would be more resolute after returning from her hometown. She'd thought she could seduce Qin Feng with her beauty and wrap him around her finger. However, Han Ying had retreated before she took off her clothes. She wasn't ready yet. She refused to give her body to a man she didn't like. Both of them ended the conversation and leaned shoulder to shoulder on the couch, sunk in deep thought. After Han Ying regained her energy and her mind cleared, she suddenly looked at Qin Feng. Qin Feng, what happened in this event? Were they targeting the Qin family or that superstar? Who knows? The police failed to arrest the assassin anyway. Maybe they're targeting Rao Sherman. This was because the stage suddenly collapsed and she was almost crushed under it, Qin Feng said indifferently. A chill flashed across Han Ying's eyes. She asked about this incident to sound out Qin Feng. However, she could tell from Qin Feng's answer, he didn't believe her at all. Now, with the intervention of the police, I believe the assassin will be caught in no time. The main thing is everybody is safe. Once again, Han Ying placed her head on Qin Feng's shoulder and proactively held his arm and comforted him. Oh yeah, Qin Feng, since you started to work at Royal Group, Uncle Qin has transferred most of his shares to you. You must work harder to improve yourself and not let Uncle Qin down. You're his only son and he cares a lot about you. Qin Feng's countenance changed slightly after Han Ying abruptly brought up this topic. Wasn't my performance good enough? I was the top seller last month and I was promoted from an ordinary employee to a sales group leader within 1 month, said Qin Feng, pasting a triumphant grin on his face. Yes, your performance is indeed outstanding. I was shocked during the performance conference last time. Han Ying followed up with a smile. As she smiled, she continued to talk. Not sure how many shares Uncle Qin transferred to you. Haha, you're so lucky. You're now an invisible tycoon with more than 100 million in assets. You're handsome, promising, and rich, just like a legendary man who reigned over the trifecta of tall, rich, and handsome. Even I'm tempted to marry you. Who knows? After all, it's my dad who's in charge of this kind of thing. I never cared, Qin Feng replied, shrugging his shoulders indifferently. Han Ying's expression sank slightly before returning to normal. She wanted to ask more questions, but Qin Huang had come downstairs. Fenger, Ying, what are you guys talking about? Uncle Qin, we didn't speak much. We're just resting on the couch. You probably have something important to discuss with Qin Feng, so I'll excuse myself first. Saying so, Han Ying stood up and prepared to leave. It's okay, Ying. I'll ask Qin Feng come to my study. You can rest here. Qin Huang cast a warm smile at Han Ying. After that, he looked at Qin Feng and said, Fenger, follow me to my study now. In a luxurious villa somewhere. A young man wearing a white robe rested on a couch, In front of him stood a black-cloaked elder. The white-robed youngster had an impressive and ethereal appearance. He was playing with a wooden fan. "Uncle Ghost, what did you learn?" White Robe asked softly. "Second young master, it was the people from the Golden Assassin crew." Since the white-robed guy didn't like the name Prince One, Uncle Ghost then addressed him as second young master. "Is Qin Feng dead?" Second young master's voice was flat. He seemingly had the answer already. "Not yet. Oomph. What a lucky guy. Even the Golden Assassin crew has failed twice by his hands," sneered second young master with a disdainful look. Second young master guffawed uproariously. He just managed a half-laugh when his cell phone suddenly rang. Ding-dong. It was a text notification. Second young master picked up his cell phone to read the message. The number of shares Qin Huang transferred to Qin Feng still hasn't been confirmed. It's not clear whether the shares are really with Qin Feng at this time. Second young master gave a Bronx cheer and texted back. "The shares aren't with Qin Feng anymore. That sly old fox Qin Huang became suspicious long ago and has already shifted the shares elsewhere. Continue to trace the whereabouts of the shares. We must find them." "Second young master, someone is looking for you." A servant walked in from outside as soon as the white-robed guy replied to the message. "Who is it?" "He said he is from the Sima family of Acropolis City. He'd like to have a cup of tea with second young master." "Let him in, then." After 30 seconds, a heavenly-looking young man in a suit came inside and greeted second young master with a smile. "Prince One, it's been a while. How's everything going?" "Prince Sima, I'm really surprised you would come to my humble home." No. Buddhism emphasizes the concept, fate. Our paths will eventually cross if it's fated." With a faint smile on his face, he then sat opposite Prince One. "Prince Sima, please enlighten me. Where does the fate come from?" asked Prince One with a mirth. "Long has the great name of the wise and wily Prince One resounded in my ear. You're a rare and brilliant genius in our generation. I expect Prince One would be clearer than me where the fate comes from, right?" "Haha, it's them who give me face." Prince One didn't pursue the origin of this fate. Instead, he waited for Sima Tu to speak. Sima Tu had come prepared. Without any hesitation, he got straight to the point. "Prince One, I came here for Qin Feng, and I came here to get rid of him." "Haha, interesting." Prince One burst out in a fit of violent laughter. "Tell me frankly what you have in mind, Prince Sima." "I presume Prince One has heard news of the emergency at Royal Group's opening ceremony?" "Yes, I have. It was a tragedy. Rumors say there was a shooter, and the stage collapsed as well. Even the superstar Rao Sherman, who came from the provincial capital, was almost injured. It was such a shame for this kind of thing to happen." Sima Tu said while beaming. "It's indeed quite a shame. Why didn't the metal frame crush Rao Sherman, and why didn't the shooter kill Qin Feng on spot?" queried Prince One with his eyebrows pricked. This time it was Sima Tu who burst into boisterous laughter. "Haha, seems like I found my partner. I've got a plan. Does Prince One want to analyze the pros and cons with me?" "Of course I do." The opening ceremony of Royal Group has caused a big commotion in society. They invited Rao Sherman, a first-tier celebrity, as a VIP to their opening ceremony and even publicized their event schedule on major social media networks. In the end, this kind of tragedy happened, and now, people were scared. Do you think the people still dare to purchase a villa from Phase 2 of Cloud City Hua Manor? If we make use of this opportunity and cause the same accident at other estates of Royal Group, the people of Acropolis City will eventually lose their faith in Royal Group. The once great real estate giant crashes and falls overnight. It happens all the time. This kind of news is indeed very common. However, it's still a bit lackluster if we want to crush a real estate giant like Royal Group, said Prince One while nodding his head. This is the reason I came to Prince One. Since it lacks some firepower, then we shall give it a push. You know what a tiring life Qin Huang has lived as the wealthiest man in Acropolis City. He might thank us in the future for showing him a new and easier way of life after we've dragged him down from the top. Apparently Prince Sima has it all planned. Firstly, will aggravate the tragedy that happened on Royal Group's opening ceremony and stir up some trouble for the other real estate projects of Royal Group. Secondly, the superstar Rao Sherman has a strong background, the lady genius of the Dongfang family in the provincial capital, Dongfang Qingshui, treats Rao Sherman like her own sister. Now that her sister almost died at Royal Group's event, do you think she wouldn't be enraged? Maybe she'll unleash the full power of the Dongfang family to crush the Qin family in her fury. Lastly, the assassins are from the Golden Assassin crew. Since Qin Feng and Qin Huang have offended this organization, they might need to worry about survival for the rest of their lives. Now the time is right. Even the geographical and social conditions are in our favor. Isn't this the perfect time for Prince One to make your move? Haha. Good. Very well planned. I hope we have a good time working together, Prince Sima. All of a sudden, Prince One excitedly smacked the table and declared his alliance with Sima Tuesday. How could he not have considered the 3 points Sima Tu mentioned? The reason he lurked in the dark and didn't take the initiative was because Hua Ming almost revealed his identity during that time at the mountain resort. Hua Ming's action had roused suspicion with the people of Qin Manor, so Prince Wen couldn't take Qin Feng on unbridledly. He had to maintain a low profile and borrow outside power to exterminate Qin Feng. So, he'd previously asked Uncle Ghost to persuade the Hao family's elder to hire an assassin from the Golden Assassin crew to assassinate Qin Feng, and cause Qin Feng to run afoul of this menacing organization. Now Sima Tu had taken the initiative to form an alliance with him. Prince One was entirely willing to borrow the power of Sima Tu, backing him at the same time, in order to get rid of Qin Feng, or even crush the Qin family in Acropolis City. Qin Manor main building, 3rd floor study room. Qin Feng and Qin Huang sat face to face. Qin Huang was making tea with his tea set, and very soon, a pot of high-grade Longjing tea was prepared. Qin Feng sat quietly on the wooden floor, weighing his dad's tea-making performance. The room was filled with the fragrance of books and tea. Fenger, were you injured? After Qin Huang served a cup of tea to Qin Feng, his expression became grave suddenly. He was the wealthiest man in Acropolis City, shrewd and deep, and had an eagle-like gaze. So when this tragedy happened, when he heard the 2 gunshots, he'd already known. The people from the Golden Assassin crew had come. Once the Golden Assassin crew made their move, there would be casualties. Granted that Qin Huang hadn't seen the gunshot wound on Qin Feng's thigh, he also knew it couldn't have been easy for his son to escape their ambush. I was shot in the thigh. The bullet's been extracted, and I'm fine now. Qin Feng took a sip from the tea. His eyes shone brightly, and he exclaimed, Dad, it's such a nice tea. On the other hand, Qin Huang had a worried face. He wanted to check Qin Feng's wound. However, Qin Feng waved his hand and refused. Dad, I was shot in the thigh, very close to my precious one. If you want to see, I'll still need to take my pants off, and I'm afraid you may see something else. I think you might as well forget about it. Chapter 296. Chapter 296, Winter Iron Glove Upgrade. Qin Huang sat back down and yelled at Qin Feng with a stormy expression. You brat, you're always so insincere when you talk to me. Is your gunshot wound really okay? Why don't I tell Dr. Zhang to take a look at it? Qin Huang was still really worried. It's fine. To prevent his father from worrying, Qin Feng changed the topic. 2 assassins came this time. I killed one of them on the spot, and the other escaped. When I was coming back, I asked Uncle Fu about the Golden Assassin crew. It seems that we're in a bind. Dad, keep Uncle Fu by your side 24 hours a day from now on. I don't need his protection. I have the ability to protect myself. Qin Huang was moved. He took a small sip of tea and said, The Golden Assassin crew is indeed hard to deal with. But they've failed twice now, so they'll probably stop for a while and attack with a fury the next time they make a move. What's thornier is the opening ceremony problem. A shooting occurred at Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2's opening ceremony, and the stage collapsed. I'm sure the properties won't sell well after that, sighed Qin Huang. Qin Feng furrowed his eyebrows slightly. Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2 is just one of Royal Group's large properties. Even if the sales for the properties were obstructed, it won't affect the entire company's profit. Dad, are you afraid that someone will use this problem to suppress us? A flash of joy flitted through Qin Huang's heavy expression. His son was able to grasp what he was thinking. Qin Huang found that Qin Feng really had grown up. He was no longer that brat who only knew how to play with girls and idle about. Maybe I'm worrying too much. I hope this won't happen. Qin Huang furrowed his eyebrows and was deep in thought. Who knew what he was thinking? Dad, just now, Han Ying asked me about my shares in the company. How many shares have you transferred to me? Han Ying asked about this? Qin Huang stiffened slightly, then quickly relaxed again. Fenger, you don't even have a penny's worth of stocks right now. I transferred them all to someone else. Once Qin Huang said this, Qin Feng suddenly thought of his 2 quests that were previously expiring. One of the quests was to subdue Han Ying, while the other was to find the criminal behind Ma Dehu. Of the 2 quests, Qin Feng extended Han Ying's and gave up on Ma Dehu's. The punishment for failing Ma Dehu's quest was to lose the Royal Group shares. Qin Feng couldn't help but feel nervous, thinking about the punishments if he were to fail his other quests, because he now had clear evidence that the hedonist sovereign system's rewards and punishments would all actually happen. Whom did you transfer them to? Asked Qin Feng. A very dependable woman. Qin Huang gave Qin Feng a meaningful look. Qin Feng's lips tweed as he stared at Qin Huang and said, Dad, when did you start keeping a lover? How come I didn't even know? This time, Qin Huang's lips tweed. The hand holding the teacup trembled incessantly, and he almost threw the tea in Qin Feng's face. Stinking brat, how dare you say something so unfilial? In this world, I, Qin Huang, have never had any interest in a woman other than your mother. Dad, then tell me about Mom. Qin Feng instantly became emotional. Ever since he was born, he'd never seen his mother. He'd lived for 22 years, but he never heard his father or members of the capital's Qin family mention his mother. It's useless talking about her now. If I say too much, it'll only bring you more headaches. It wouldn't be too late to tell you when you have the ability to win the Qin clan's martial arts competition and you attain the junior patriarch position of the capital's Qin family. Okay, go rest. I also have to begin dealing with the aftermath of what happened recently. Qin Feng was dismissed from the study. When Qin Feng arrived at the parlor, Han Ying was already gone. He returned to his room on the 3rd floor, lay in bed, and opened the hedonist sovereign system. Master, I'm so glad I can see you're still alive. Once the hedonist sovereign system was opened, Little Pig bounced out. Qin Feng looked at Little Pig, who looked like a little mouse scurrying all over the room. He suddenly had the urge to stomp him to death. During the afternoon's events, Qin Feng broke through both internal and external stages and was awarded 3,000 hedonist points. Additionally, when Yun Xiao left, he was awarded 1,000 hedonist points by curing her social anxiety. Now, Qin Feng had a total of 4,000 hedonist points. When Qin Feng saw all the hedonist points, he was so moved he wanted to shout thrice. Master, you just need to spend 1,500 hedonist points, and your total spendings would be 10,000 hedonist points. Then, you can become a rank 5 hedonist mortal and receive 3 free lottery chances. At the same time, you'll activate the system's wuxia interface and step onto the road of becoming a sovereign immortal. Little Pig left for a bit, then came back with Pikachu. Pikachu had been with Suruoro this whole time. When he saw Qin Feng, he emotionally hopped into Qin Feng's embrace. Qin Feng also missed Pikachu a lot. Once he hugged Pikachu, his expression fell. You pervert, tell me, do you shamelessly bury yourself in Suruoro's embrace every night to sleep? Qin Feng smelled Suruoro's scent on Pikachu and felt horrible. He was treated worse than a little animal. Pikachu could feel the coldness emanating from Qin Feng, and he dexterously escaped Qin Feng's embrace to arrive by Little Pig on the floor. Qin Feng shook his head, sighed, and proceeded to ignore the 2 beasts. He opened the system's fusion function. A couple of days ago, when fighting with Sima II, his left winter iron glove was ruined. That glove was now rendered useless, and Qin Feng was prepared to fix it in the fusion interface. When placed in the fusion function, the system provided a notice. The right glove could be the item to get upgraded, and the left glove would be enhancive material for it. This way, the upgraded item could be a new orange grade right glove, while the left glove would be integrated into it. This fusion cost 1,000 hedonist points. Qin Feng hesitated for a brief moment, then thought, fuse? Since he was right-handed anyway, having just the right glove would usually be adequate. It was naturally worth it to upgrade the winter iron glove from white to orange grade. Thus, all of Qin Feng's equipment would be orange grade spiritual equipment. With the command, the fusion interface's large oven spun quickly, then stopped just as quickly. A gleaming orange winter iron glove emerged. Fusion success. Upgraded winter iron glove, right glove, equipment grade, orange mid-grade equipment. Made with 1,000-year-old winter iron, it was incomparably hard. Winter iron's natural properties made the wearer feel cold with clear determination, raising the wearer's stamina and accuracy during battle. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for successfully creating an orange-grade equipment. The Hedonist Sovereign System rewards you 1,000 Hedonist points. Ding! The Hedonist Sovereign System has issued a quest. Acquire 6 pieces of orange-grade spiritual equipment. Quest time limit, 3 months. For have currently been collected. Successful completion reward, 5,000 Hedonist points and 1 blue-grade equipment. Upon failure, the host will lose all his orange-grade spiritual equipment. This quest arrived too suddenly. Qin Feng was so excited, he almost jumped up. He had 4 pieces of orange-grade spiritual equipment, the True Steel Sword, the Flying Dragon Armor, the Spirit Snake Whip, and the Winter Iron Glove. As long as he got 2 more orange-grade equipment, he could complete the quest and receive 5,000 Hedonist points. This was not a small number. With a slight thought from Qin Feng, a Winter Iron Glove with orange light appeared on Qin Feng's right fist. After upgrading the Winter Iron Glove, the winteriness of the glove was even more prevalent. It also strengthened Qin Feng's awareness and reaction speed, and made his reactions quicker. Whoosh! Qin Feng leapt and pumped his right fist into the air. With the intermediate Thunder Tiger fists, the Winter Iron Glove made every punch formidable with irresistible force. Nice, it really is more agile and sensitive than the white-grade gloves. Qin Feng practiced his punching technique while praising the glove. There was only 1 grade difference between white and orange, but the improvement was vast. The upgrade of a single glove enhanced Qin Feng's abilities a lot. It was evident how important equipment grade was to a martial artist. At normal university, though Sima II's abilities weren't comparable to Qin Feng's, his blue-grade Mollis Azure Wing Blades defeated Qin Feng. With 1 slash, the Winter Iron Glove was rendered useless. After practicing the intermediate Thunder Tiger Fist technique, Qin Feng was dripping with sweat and extremely content. He put away his glove and sat on the sofa. Now, he just needed to spend 500 Hedonist points to reach rank 5 Hedonist Mortal. Qin Feng was most excited about the 3 lottery chances that came with the upgrade. Chapter 297. Chapter 297, Sovereign Level Skill. Master, you can use 500 Hedonist points to purchase a bottle of Lucky Potion, suggested Little Pig as it jumped on Qin Feng's body when Qin Feng was struggling to buy something. Lucky Potion? Why should I buy it? Qin Feng furrowed his eyebrows. Lucky Potion, Lucky Potion. Of course it's to improve your luck. With a prideful expression, Little Pig cast a scornful stare at Qin Feng. 500 Hedonist points, one-time use potion. Host will have a chance to increase luck by 5 times to 5,000 times, lasting for 5 minutes. As Qin Feng read the description of Lucky Potion, his expression sank completely. Do you hold a grudge against me, Little Pig? How could you be so prodigal? This young master worked hard enough to earn a flimsy number of Hedonist points. What would I buy a bottle of Lucky Potion for? Moreover, the effect is only for 5 minutes. It's distressing to spend 500 hedonist points for just 5 minutes. PSK, whatever you want. Little Pig cast a disdainful look at Qin Feng and said, if Master spends 500 hedonist points, then Master will be promoted to rank 5 hedonist mortal and entitled to a lottery. After that, Master can drink the Lucky Potion when drawing the lottery and increase the rate of getting epic items. Master might even get those heavenly equipments or skills. Qin Feng's face reddened. He realized he always made a clown of himself in front of the pig. Hee, I thought the Lucky Potion is useful as well. I was going to buy it anyway, even if you, little pig, didn't remind me. Qin Feng shamelessly purchased the Lucky Potion and pretended he was a wise and far-sighted man. Shameless. Little Pig rolled his eyes at Qin Feng. Ding. Congratulations, host Qin Feng has spent 10,000 hedonist points. You have successfully been promoted to rank 5 hedonist mortal. The wuxia interface is activated. At the same time, the host will be granted 3 free lottery chances. Does the host want to initiate the lottery sequence now? Qin Feng hastily opened the Lucky Potion and drank all the blue liquid. Initiate now. A big, round wheel then appeared in Qin Feng's mind. The wheel spun fast and stopped after 30 seconds. Host didn't get any prize. Please try again. Fuck, cursed Qin Feng. He had been eagerly looking forward to getting an epic prize after he drank the Lucky Potion. He waited wholeheartedly, and in the end, he didn't get anything during the first round. He gnashed his teeth and sent a furious glare at the little pig that was frolicking at the side. Wanted to throttle that pig to death. Again. Qin Feng's body trembled slightly. Host didn't get any prize. Please try again. Qin Feng's expression paled. He quivered all over his body and large beads of sweat began to ooze from his forehead. He was engulfed in flames of fury, his 2 fists cracking as he clenched them. Qin Feng swore that if he didn't get anything on the 3rd round, he was going to ask the Qian to add braised pork trotters as an appetizer. Again. Qin Feng's heart was in his throat. Qin Feng had waited for a long time to get these 3 lottery chances. If he really didn't get anything at all, he was better dead. Ding. Congratulations, host Qin Feng. You've acquired a sovereign-level skill, the Vajra Esotery. The system's robotic voice sounded in Qin Feng's mind. However, the sound was as wonderful as a young maiden's nightingale-like voice. Sovereign-level skill? What grade is that? Qin Feng's mind went blank all of a sudden. He'd lost the ability to react. He knew the grades for spiritual weapons in the system. Sovereign, gold, purple, blue, orange, and white. He knew the grades for pills in the system. Sovereign, grade 9, grade 8, grade 2, and grade 1. He also knew the grades for skills in the system. Sovereign, heaven, earth, black, and yellow. Qin Feng's intermediate Thunder Tiger Fists, a yellow top-grade skill, was fairly powerful. One punch from him could conquer mountains and rivers, and the force was unstoppable. His basic sword skill, a yellow middle-grade skill, was kind of lackluster. However, he could still slice through metal easily and force people to kneel using sword auras. His Phantom Whip technique was an overwhelmingly powerful yellow top-grade skill. When paired with inner chi, he could unleash dozens of overlapping whip shadows that no one could escape from. The 3 skills Qin Feng possessed were all yellow, the lowest grade in the skill ranking. He'd never seen the power of a higher grade skill, so he didn't know a black-level skill could induce a family civil war and massive slaughter within a sect. He also didn't know an earth-level skill could stir up the realm of martial arts and cause a vicious war. He didn't even know a legendary heaven-level skill could make the top martial artists from every major sect rip off their disguise and go to crazy extremes to seize the skill for themselves. Then, what could a sovereign-level skill that had been missing for thousands of years, so long even martial artists questioned its existence, possibly mean? Qin Feng didn't dare to think much. This was because he couldn't imagine it either. When the memories surged violently into his mind, Qin Feng still retained a stunned look on his face. It was such an ancient skill that the words were unfathomable runes, the contents less than the intermediate thunder tiger fists, but each and every one of the ancient runes emitted an esoteric and mystical charm. These ancient runes were like living spiritual objects, and danced wildly in Qin Feng's memories. They brought along an almighty and ancient aura and speedily merged with Qin Feng's past memories. The Vajra Esotery. Skill level, Sovereign. Whoever cultivates this skill will be the #1 external expert. His body will become as hard as an adamantine and indestructible by any means. Qin Feng opened the description for the Vajra Esotery, a row of 5 stars. The system described very little about this skill, only a few sentences and lacking any elaboration. Qin Feng read through it thoroughly, over and over again, but still couldn't understand anything. Master, Little Pig stopped romping around. Even Pikachu was shocked, its fur standing on end like it had been electrocuted. Both spiritual pets had sensed the sovereign skill in Qin Feng's memories. The skill stood out from the masses, emitting a burst of ancient and distant aura, and they found a hint of familiarity in it. Am I dreaming, Little Pig? Qin Feng and the pig and the rat stared fixedly at one another. All of them were so frightened they didn't dare move. They were afraid the dream might disappear once they moved. Master, I was going to ask you the same question. We're not dreaming, right? Seeing the usually prideful little pig astonished, Qin Feng knew he'd drawn a godly treasure. Master, this is a sovereign-level skill, a supreme-level skill that may not even exist in legend. Oh gosh, we're in such a big trouble. If the news of this skill leaks out, let alone Master, the entire Acropolis city and the entire provincial capital, even the whole world, will go crazy. With Master's current miserable strength, how could Master protect this skill? When those martial arts masters come to SNA the skill, will they kill us pitiful little pets too? Little Pig grumbled non-stop. Qin Feng's expression became darker and darker. How dare you say I'm weak? Qin Feng yelled in his heart. Qin Feng felt he was a genius martial artist, a prodigy among his peers, since he could master both inner qi and external strength. How come he became insignificant in Little Pig's mouth? Little Pig, what is this Vajra Esotery? The system doesn't have a detailed description about it, so I don't have any idea how to use this technique right now. Intermediate Thunder Tiger Fists, Basic Sword Skill, and Phantom Whip Technique. All of them became Qin Feng's memories when he acquired them. With these memories, Qin Feng could use them directly. However, the Vajra Esotery was different. Even though he had the memories, Qin Feng realized this technique wasn't an offensive skill but more likely a defensive skill. Master, the Vajra Esotery is a supreme defensive skill. After you successfully cultivate it, your body would become as tough as an iron wall. Nothing will be able to penetrate your body or injure you, just like Master's face. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth crooked. He was fuming with so much anger he almost blacked out. He realized Little Pig knew him too well. Since this pig knows so many of my secrets, should I kill it? Unlike other skills, the Vajra Esotery can't be used instantly, even with the possession of this skill. This skill requires Master to cultivate it step by step before you can bring out its full potential. Regarding the way of cultivation, well, not even the system has a record, so how could you expect a cute little pig like me to know? Qin Feng was enraged. Every time he saw a person or an animal who was more shameless than he'd become angry. As he prepared to pounce on Little Pig and Pikachu, wanting to give them 50 strokes each, somebody knocked on his room door. Qin Feng, come out fast. Please come out now. I can't hold it anymore. I can't breathe. Su Ruo's orgasm-like voice drifted in from outside the door. Qin Feng reacted instantly. A second before he'd still been on the bed, and the next second, he'd already opened the door. Su Ruo stood at the door in pink pajamas. She was so excited her face was flushed. Qin Feng grabbed Su Ruo's little waist without demur and threw her onto his bed. When he was about to pounce on her, Su Ruo climbed up angrily, glared at Qin Feng and yelled, "Qin Feng, what are you doing? You pervert!" Qin Feng missed his target. The imaginary scene of tossing Su Ruo's soft and flimsy body restlessly from side to side was shattered. All he got in his arms was his own quilt. Greatly enraged, he also sent a furious glare at Su Ruo and yelled, "Ruo, aren't you the one who wanted to do it? So you came to seduce me? How could you scold me when we're doing something important?" Su Ruo finally understood. She'd been too agitated just now and Qin Feng had taken it wrongly. "Big bad wolf, your mind is filled with dirty thoughts only. Humph, this person is going to ignore you. I'm going to play with young Master Qin downstairs." After Su Ruo finished talking, she ran out of Qin Feng's room like a cheerful butterfly. Qin Feng was left dazed on his own bed. He was thinking about what Su Ruo had said just now. Play with young Master Qin? Aren't I young Master Qin? Fuck. Could it be Xiao Bai has come back? Qin Feng shouted and hastily dashed downstairs. He felt awful when he reached the parlor on the first floor. Xiao Bai was now sitting on the couch in the parlor with Su Ruo and Rao Sherman on his left and right, respectively. The girls were excited at Xiao Bai's return. Su Ruo was joyfully talking with Xiao Bai while Rao Sherman proactively peeled oranges and served Xiao Bai tea with a charming smile on her face. Seeing this scene, tears streamed down Qin Feng's face all of a sudden. Not even he had the privilege of enjoying this type of treatment from the girls. He was thinking in his heart, should I reveal my true identity as young Master Qin in front of these two fairies? Maybe I can have a threesome tonight. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.